Good evening, Sim World. We've got some great games lined up for you tonight on Sim World TV. A big one here to kick things off. Run DMV hosting the Originators in a game with race to one seeding and playoff implications, and some good storylines too, with some recent surprising losses by the Originators. You got Elava, my own good self, behind the mic tonight, and I am joined by Marsh. Marsh, good to work another game with you, sir.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing good. I'm looking forward to this one. So take us through a little bit of the where things stand in the various divisions and conferences and implications for this game tonight.
Yeah, this is a big one for both teams. Even if Originators have officially clinched Run DMV, needing a win to get just a touch closer. They're up 2.5 with 5 to play. But the overall seedings are matter. Originators could fall to number 2, or at least be half a game up on the dormant Rocky Mountain Monsters with a loss. Run DMV, they've got a chance to jump up to tie and actually surpass Beasts of the East with a win. They own the head-to-head tiebreaker. But also a chance to fall back and get a little bit closer to beyond the arch. So a lot still at play here for both sides. And, of course, the Originators needing to rebound from what was a disastrous game last night against the ATMs.
Trey Trust gets DMV going. Interesting note, too, that Nick Hugo squaring off in the paint tonight with 7-footer Ilgauskas. Hugo just about 6'7" himself, but he won the tip. The first bucket for DMV, but right back, one, the only, DJ Wagner.
Well, you talk about Ilgauskas versus Nick Hugo. Obviously, the size differential of nearly 70 pounds, 8 inches, as Trey Trust can't get the second three. But we saw last night, Victorious Ilgauskas really got overmatched with shiftier, more athletic big men. Ilgauskas remains a dominant presence inside, but his athleticism, or rather lack thereof, tonight could be a troublesome game matched up with Hugo as Ilgauskas promptly steps on the line here.
Ilgauskas with the turnover. Some switching defense there coming from EMV. Malik Duffin at 6'9", 215, getting most of the assignment there on the 7-foot big man from Lithuania, Ilgauskas. But here Hugo has it. He's trying to go to work on Ilgauskas this possession. He gives it up. Oh, back to Hugo. Look at that finish.
Look, that's what I'm talking about, right? The athleticism, the verticality of Nick Hugo to be able to get up there and go flying with the big man. There's no fear from Nick Hugo. He's a phenomenal player. He's a 2-time Player of the Week, the only SimWorld Hoops player to win back-to-back Player of the Week honors. He's not going to be afraid of Ilgauskas, even though Ilgauskas is a league leader in blocks, top 10 in rebounds. There's no fear from Hugo, and for good reason, because of his athleticism.
Another bucket there from Wagner. Hugo gets a putback here on this end and reestablishes a 3-point lead for DMV. DJ Wagner with 4 points. He's averaging 20.9. That's 4th best in all of SimWorld this season.
You know, Ilgauskas not really aggressive here on that last possession. Didn't box out at all on Hugo on that take from Brandon Smith, and just very nonchalantly didn't even contest that. He gets beat here. Gets lucky that Hugo blows the layup, but Ilgauskas just doesn't seem to be having the aggressive trigger right now, and Hugo certainly does.
Ooh. Plenty aggressive there, but had his shot rejected, and then it's taken away, stripped out of Ilgauskas' hands. Brandon Smith. It's DJ Wagner absolutely all over him, and Wagner pokes the ball out of there. Great defense from DJ. Nice dish as well, and the finish from Ilgauskas probably lucky for DMV. A foul not called there too as Ilgauskas hit the floor, but Originators take their first lead of the game, 8-7.
Really going to be important here is another easy put-in for Nick Hugo. It's going to be important for the Originators in this bounce back. It's not putting the spotlight too much on Wagner. It's going to be, what does Loftus, what does Ilgauskas, what does Kamari Ward do? Ward and Jared Quinney combined 2 of 17 last night. I've said it as Hugo rises up. Said it before, Quinny is the barometer for the Originators. If he's playing well, this team is hard to stop. If he's not, they're very easy to beat. They had awful games, Quinny and Ward, as Quinny can't get that one to go here either. If they're struggling tonight, this could be a dangerous second game of the back-to-back for the OGs.
Meanwhile, Nick Hugo dominating that interior matchup so far. DMV, 3 early as Malik Duffin swings it out. Shot on the way, 3 won't go there from Smith, but second chance for DMV this possession. And look at Hugo, just just elude 2 defenders, use that left hand off glass.
Does Hugo have, what does he have, 10 points of their 13?
I'll have to look that up during the break, but I think you're correct about that, Marsh. Loftus has yet to score in this game for the Originators, part of the problem they're having, and Hugo gets over and swats it away.
This team is, Run DMV is doing right now exactly what the AT Aliens did last night. The AT Aliens got out, they ran, they pushed it in transition, their defense got stopped, so they were never going against a set D. That's what killed the Originators. It's what allowed DeMario Duval to get going, as Quinny can't get that to fall. This is looking like a carbon copy of that game so far in the first quarter.
Maybe AT Aliens show the rest of the league a blueprint, because DMV are putting it on the road squad right now up by 9, and except for DJ Wagner, not a lot of great team speed necessarily, not a lot of quickness in what is a talented Originator squad, but they find themselves in a deficit already. Coach Dodge doesn't look happy. We'll check in when we return after a quick commercial break. back, 2:32 to go, first quarter. You know, the Originators 21-6 on the season, and in spite of that recent double-digit loss to AT Aliens, they have won 4 of their last 5, but Alyssa Dodge pretty hot during that timeout. And I think at least DJ heard her, and he gets 3 of it back. Still a 6-point lead for Run DMV early on in this one.
And the fascinating part about the Originators is they've lost 6 games. They had that 3-game losing streak in the middle of the season. They've been so incredible. As we get a foul here on Kevin Sullivan, they've been so dominant for so much of the season, yet they've looked. I mean, last night they just didn't look it, and here in this first quarter, it's 5 quarters of them just not really looking like themselves.
Marion Bracken at the line. I was on Kevin Sullivan in the game off the bench. Sullivan, a 6'7", big-bodied SimWorld veteran. Good for Coach Dodge last season. Bracken sets up to take his second. Notable that Jared Quinney, number 13 in blue out there, he of the notable hairstyle, in the starting lineup tonight. And Coach Dodge, in spite of this 20-plus win Originator squad having a really successful season, she's been tinkering with the lineups of late, and Quinney had been out back in tonight. Oh, nice drive, nice elevation, great finish. The budding superstar, DJ Wagner. A big night so far tonight, although he got burned right there for a moment on defense. Bracken couldn't do much with it, but he made DJ look silly for a moment.
Well, to your point about, tinkering with lineups, I think that coaches
nice
do
ditch from
themselves.
Hugo. Couldn't finish there from Duffin. Yeah, go ahead, Marsh.
But good coaches should use especially of good teams, and you buy yourself the opportunity to do this when you're as good as the Originators have been. But good coaches should use the regular season to test different lineup combinations to figure out what ones work. Because come the playoffs, you're going to need to have some type of, counter, right? You cannot go reasonably into the postseason as a phenomenal step back there from Bracken. Though he doesn't get to go.
Couldn't get to go, but no, he's looking quicker than DJ out there, as much of DMV's just looked quicker as a team than OG's all night.
But you just can't go into the playoffs thinking that, the 5 people that I started for 90% of my games are going to be the 5 that I always go to. You have to figure out what combinations, what starting bench combinations are going to work, and credit to Coach Dodge for doing that. And certainly, I think that there's reason to wonder if the Originators' poor play right now is just a sense of they've locked up a playoff spot. What else is there to prove?
Corner 3, and of course it was Nick Hugo involved. He gets an assist on that. Already over 10 points in the game for Hugo. Final possession here, first quarter. DMV up by 9 in what's been a great start. Loftus gets it in Quinney's hands, going to try another 3 and sinks this one with under a second left to go. Big bucket there from Jared Quinney. Brings the lead down to 6. We're going to take another quick break, but don't go anywhere. We're going to come right back with second quarter action here on Sunday.
Still waiting for a big smile out of you. You're up 2-0. What's the story? Are you not happy, or you're only half happy, or?
Still to be happy about.
You're up 2-0.
Job's not finished. Job finished? I don't think so.
We are back, and we want to thank you for tuning in tonight and watching a little SimWorld TV. You can always find us here, youtube.com/SimWorldTV, and as you're on here, please do us a favor and like us, share us, let your friends know about us. Keep them tuned in too. Originators ball, DJ has it and dunks it. Posterizing right there, DJ Wagner. Not something John Hudgens is going to look back on fondly from his time in SimWorld. Oh, a nice floater from Kamarian Bracken.
It'd be fascinating how Run DMV, they've had such a good, poor use here, but run recently to kind of get themselves back into a good seeding in the conference. But I'm really looking forward to the race to 1, to figuring out, and it's tough that it's 1-game series and not like a best 2 out of 3, but of course at this level of basketball that's unreasonable to expect anything otherwise. But it's quite difficult to peg them and figure out how good are these guys really when you don't have a star, when you don't have a guy like DJ Wagner, when you've gone through lulls in the season, you've gone through really meteoric highs. What are they actually, and what's the truth of this team? I'm looking forward to figuring out the answer to that in the race to 1.
Well, the biggest star that DMV has, Nick Hugo, catching a little breather on the bench right now. Noteworthy that Kevin Sullivan with the ball right now. A nice drive, can't get the finish, however. Still in the game, in the pivot for the Originators, as Gauskas has gotten an extended rest after coming out midway through the first quarter. Oh, and a nice shot by Kamarian Bracken. He's really starting to warm up into things here. He's having a nice night, Bracken. 6'1", 200-pound guard out of Annapolis, averaging a team high 11.8 per game. 17-year-old being heavily recruited by Maryland. We'll see a future in the Big Ten for Marion, particularly if he keeps on playing like he has tonight. Well, time called here on the court. I want to remind you to please be aware of us on all of our social media channels out there. You can like and follow and share and just spread the word. Everywhere you go, we are at SimWorld4K. That's TikTok, that's Twitter, that's Facebook. That's probably Telegram now. No, I don't think Telegram would make sense. Maybe Threads, though. I'll have to
get on that Threads feed.
Threads, OnlyFans, of course, all over OnlyFans.
Oh, all right, Rick. Where's Rick's page at?
Make sure to look for us at SimWorld4K. And, chime in. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you think of this game tonight.
Right.
Close of this one. At the close of this one, Marsh, you and me are going to make our player of the game picks. We should throw that up to the public. Let's hear from them, too.
All right, this is Rick. Eric, tell me if this is just a terrible question to ask, but if you had to pick one person of the SimWorld team, both the public and the non-public, to have an OnlyFans, who do you think the most likely person would be?
The most likely person would be. Yep. That is a tough one.
Not that they'd be good. I'm not saying they'd be good at it. I'm saying who do you think personality-wise would be the most likely to have?
Just, I could see. That's a really good question. From within the Sim world, kind of, the media team and behind the scenes world and all the rest of that. And if you're following us on Discord, discord.gg/SimWorldNBA, you'll know these names I'm talking about. But, it's always who you kind of least expect in that regard, I feel like. And I could see like a fetish community out there making some real money for our very own Big Bob. So I'm going to throw Big Bob into the mix. I just promote our social channels. If you want to see that, please chime in. Raise your hand. Hey, please money.
Oh wow, that is a great answer.
No matter what it's been tucked into. Might I have to go with that from the SimWorld world and within the player and coaching community. Oh boy,
Corey Yams. The answer is obvious. It's Corey Yams. the answer is obvious. It's not.
I don't want to take the focus away from this game, but of course, if you've been following us on our Discord server, you know there's been a lot of turmoil recently in Indy. Maybe one of the Indy personalities, Nari.
Yeah, I could see
Johan
Benari.
Novajovic is a good-looking kid. You know, maybe. Who knows?
But I feel as if looks isn't. It's not. The OF is not a. It is obviously it's yes looks.
Well,
But you need the personality to do it.
And in the internet age, there's narcissistic things and subcultures that you find in the community and thrive. And, that's great. Fly your flag. That's what I say. I love it. We should probably a little game action here at some point, Marsh. It looked like it might have been dribbled off of very own foot of Eric Nelson, but it is going to stay down here on this end. Tyrone Snyder started the game up with Ilgauskas for the Originators. He's re-entering. Victoris back out there as well, as is Nick Hugo. Starters on the court. 7-point lead for DMV. They took a hold of this game early. Have not given it up, and there's a nice steal. Pinkard. Charles Pinkard. Reserve player playing well right there. And look at that. Malik Duffin draws the contact from Snyder, able to strongly finish the shot. Oh, and the death stare from Coach Dodge. I think she's been irate since maybe midway through that AT Aliens game, and it doesn't look like those glares are going to be cut down on anytime soon unless the OGs really start to pick up their play.
Well, I mean, this is I'm not discrediting Coach Dodge by any means, but this is an example of a coach getting a team up for this one, and Coach Murray has done this on multiple occasions. We've talked about Run DMV's propensity for great games against great teams. I think as of, it was August or July 10th, they were 8-2 against top teams. So this is a team that when they play big games, they just rise to the occasion. When Nick Hugo gets factored into the offense, they win basketball games. That's exactly what's happening tonight.
Another DMV bucket. This time it's Keith Singleton attacking and picking up the bucket. Up by a dozen. Biggest lead of the game. Coach Dodge stalking the sidelines. Now Maverick Jackson-Jones in the game, and he almost turns it over, but gets it back into Snyder's hands, takes a jumper, won't go. Offensive rebound for Ilgauskas. Oh, and look at that. Hugo, and that gets the crowd on their feet because Hugo rose to block the shot of the 7-footer right there.
This is not.
Sorry.
Well, this is not a Run DMV team. Oh my goodness. That we would expect to come out and play like this. They are a scoring team. They want to shoot the ball a lot. They want to get up and down the court. What they're doing tonight defensively is out of character in the best of ways.
Well, it's Eric Nelson able to get two of it back right there. Another one of those veterans for Coach Dodge coming off the bench this season. He'll be starting soon unless the Originators pick things up. And once again, Coach Myron Murray's DMV go to work here. Oh, just wide open underneath. Gets the easiest bucket he's going to get all season right there. But Marsh, I got to ask. You mentioned the Originators did have a 3-game losing streak earlier in this year. Are they just in another funk that they can and will play out of? Or the thing that I worry about, and I frankly even think I've just visually seen it on some possessions out here tonight, is that maybe teams like AT Aliens, teams like DMV that aren't huge but have this speed in here, it's on display again as Hugo finishes there. I I think maybe we've also discovered an Achilles heel in what is definitely one of the top contenders for the Race to One title this season.
Well, so they lose 3 in a row, and that 3-game losing streak was in May. That ended May 23rd. They followed that 3-game losing streak up with a 9-game winning streak. So this feels as if a team that's just gotten complacent. They win 9. They position themselves so well for the Race to One. That's what this feels like. This feels, I mean, look, Denver Nuggets were the best team in basketball, yet down the stretch they kind of took their foot off the gas, and everyone wondered about them. And instead of being what people thought, which was, oh, they're not any good, they're struggling, they ended up being obviously the best team in basketball, having a great playoff run. So I think for the Originators, it feels very similar to that, where things have been decided. Yeah, they might not get the 1 seed. They might end up with the 2 seed. They might feel confident that whether they're going up against, as it stands today, reigning Trays or Bad Boys basketball, they feel like they can beat either one of those teams regardless. Then why are we putting all this effort into games down the stretch when we know we've got 4 games coming up in August that are going to mean much more than anything we do right now in July?
They better hope they can turn it back on, because they're just looking terrible in many aspects tonight. 2 of the worst free throws you're going to see from Kamari Ward there. Well short on the first. Badly bricked the next one off the back of the rim.
This is a continuation of some bad basketball right now from Kamari Ward. Again, had a really rough night last night. Was 1 of 8. He's an 89% free throw shooter and just missed 2. This is a funk right now, down 18 for the Originators.
DJ Wagner back out there, under 30 seconds to go in the first half. Trying to salvage something here. Ward gets it in his hands. Oh, and he feeds Ilgauskas. Great little 1-2 game there between the big man and DJ. Oh, and some nice defense from Ilgauskas there. Definitely losing the war to Nick Hugo so far in this one, but nice little offense to defense sequence there from Big Vic. 12.8 left on the shot clock, and it's going to stay down on this end. He gets in the hands of Ty Rocco with 10 seconds on the clock. Rocco's going to pull up and sink it. 18-point lead. There's 3.6 remaining, so time for either Loftus or it looks like DJ to get one off here. And he's well off. The Originators far off the mark, far off their usual pace tonight. Big lead in the first quarter, extended and got worse and worse in the second. DMV, the home fans here are loving it. Nick Hugo leading the way, Marsh.
Hugo has used his athleticism, and we talked about in the first quarter, he's used his athleticism to just get to where he wants. They've really attacked Run DMV in the pick and roll with really incredible success on this team. They've gone after them in a way that we saw AT Aliens doing, in which they're targeting Ilgauskas in the paint. It's very reminiscent of how teams approach Rudy Gobert in his prime. We can't stop you in the post. We're going to bring you out, make you try to defend quicker guards. Ilgauskas has not been able to do that. Originators, they're going to have to make some type of switch here because Run DMV is running away.
DJ Wagner, nice night on the stats, but his team is far behind. Second half action when we return. All right, we're back. Third quarter underway. Originator ball, and they are in a deep hole and apparently intent on making it deeper. Coach Dodge, I think we have just thrown her clipboard down in exasperation over there on the bench. Not the way this team wanted to start. Possible second half rally. Still lots of time left in the game, however.
It's surprising. It looked like they wanted to take Trey Trust out of this game, but he instead checks in. He wasn't meant to be there in the first half for Run DMV, but or at least he wasn't intended to. I wonder if that was a schematic move or if he just wasn't immediately ready for the second half for any number of reasons.
Well, there's a nice strong move from Ilgauskas. Wasn't able to get that kind of position and finish like that much in the first half. That would be something. The OGs to build on here. Trey Trust has it. He's going to drive around Loftus in attack. Gets fouled, and he's going to go to the line. Chance to put DMV up by 20 or 21.
Yeah, remaining a surprising game here. It's two teams that really rely on offense a lot. You would have expected coming in, though, that Ilgauskas would be the anchor to this, but again, it's so tough because you want to look at the score, and we've got the recent example of the AT Aliens loss, but the challenge is we can't allow these two games, which I would assume this game goes the way it does, but certainly things can change, but you can't allow these two games to discredit what the last almost 2 months was for the Originators, with 9 straight wins over that timeline. Yeah, these games have not been what you'd expect from them, but I find it difficult to just say, well, this is the new reality by outright, tossing aside what was a 2-month reality.
Nice dish there from Smith, but a 3-second violation will turn it over. Duffin, I think, was the culprit there. 25, Malik Duffin. And DJ has it. Mentioned at the break, he's got a good stat line going, but he is not going to be happy with the way his team is playing. And there again, for the second time in less than 90 seconds, unforced error. This time it's Jared Quinney, just steps out of bounds. Run DMV has the ball and a 21-point advantage.
Yeah, the role players again have been a big part of this. Ilgauskas, a poor foul there on Hugo. We'll send him to the line, but we've
take a quick break before Hugo goes to the line here. Come right back. 6:24 to go, third quarter. Big advantage for the home team. Coach Myron Murray's Run DMV. Nick Hugo looking to pour some salt in the wound. Nick Hugo, 6'7", 230-pounder out of Richmond, Virginia. averaging 10 points and 7.2 rebounds per game, but he's had just some explosive contests, and he's really emerged, actually, even over the course of the season, I would say. Over the second half of it has been much more of a factor than he was in the first.
It's always difficult, even, and this is true at all levels of competition, when what do you take as, we talked about it with the originators, but guys that develop, Nick Hugo, he gets stuff there from Pliagauskas, but going from, relative obscurity to, not obscurity, but not dominance, to where he is now, which is the true form of him, and you get blinded by, well, he's only averaging 10 points per game, he's only averaging 7 boards. Yeah, but what has he done recently? And has he been an efficient player recently, as Ilgauskas can't get it on Trey Trust? And Hugo has been. He's been a dominant player, and he's been dominant tonight.
Tough shots not going for Trey Trust right there. Once again, Ilgauskas has it. Ilgauskas has been more effective, more assertive in the second half, but it really hasn't made a difference to the final score. And there is another miss by Kadarius Loftus, and he is having a rough game. I mean, well, it's tough to single anybody out on the Originators in a way, Marsh, but he's just not had it going offensively all night tonight as this lead just continues to extend. 25 now.
I actually think it is easy to point out. Kadarius Loftus, last night 5 of 14. Tonight he's been awful. Jared Quinney last night 1 of 9. Tonight he's been awful. Kamari Ward last night 1 of 8. Tonight he's been awful. Victorious Ilgauskas 2 of 5. Tonight he just couldn't score on Trey Trust on a post-up. The guys that this team that we've seen over the first 25, 26 games that have been dominant. We had the conversation in the first half last night. Could Kadarius Loftus be the number 1 on a title team? He can't be a number 2 right now on a title team the way he's played these last 2 games. We talk about Best Coast Ballers saying what's their supporting staff. This production from this second unit or these second tier guys for Originators is worse than what we've seen behind Best Coast Ballers, and up until last night that'd been pretty mediocre.
Hugo couldn't score over Wagner there, but does get a second chance. Corner 3 won't go, however. DJ scored on 2 defenders that last possession, and he's definitely done DJ Wagner things out there this evening, but it's just not been enough, as the rest of the supporting cast has definitely not shown up tonight, although there's a nice move from Jared Quinney.
Let's ask this question. Obviously, these do not exist in. So, well, we got a timeout. Are we staking, or are we running out? We got time for.
We're going to take a quick timeout. 21-point advantage for Run DMV. Exactly 3 minutes and 33 seconds to go in the third. Big advantage for the home team. Come right back. SWH TV.
Up all night, putting work till it's daylight. Yeah, inspiration ain't required. I go hard in the pain even when I'm tired. 'Cause tomorrow ain't promised. I give my all, ain't nothing left. No tomorrow ain't promised. There's no tomorrow, no tomorrow.
We are back, and I want to remind everybody this is just the first game on the docket tonight. We have 2 more coming up. After this, I'm going to take things down to Texas. Lonestar against Southeast Select. That's coming up after the conclusion of this one. And, of course, between that, we'll be doing the post-up. Maestro behind the mic, always making it entertaining. And I'm going to close things out this evening. I'm going to get on the jet so I can go out and call this one. Showtime taking on Heartland Zombie Stars out in California, bright lights of Hollywood. And B-Ron will be bringing that one too. And that's coming up probably a little bit after 9 Eastern Time tonight.
2 big games, especially the second game of this doubleheader. Southeast select Lonestar. Lonestar, then you want to put the concern on the Originators. There's been concern surrounding Lonestar, so really tough run is another bucket inside for Nick Hugo. But
Hugo getting pretty much whatever he wants on both ends of the court tonight.
Yeah, I do have a question. Okay.
Yeah.
And again, caveat is you cannot do this in Simland. But if you were the Originators, or if you were Best Coast Ballers, and you wanted, or it was available to acquire via a trade, Lace Darius Outlaw or DJ Wagner, what would you give up to make such a deal happen?
I mean, that's ridiculous. It would be hard probably to get fair value back in a league where you can't make it up with draft picks.
Sure.
I can't get
just
Cooper
say,
Flag.
let's say you have
I
to
can
get
get Cooper
rid of him.
Flag next year, right? For DJ this year, that's interesting. If you give me maybe a player or something back. Oh, there's a get for the Originators. Regaining a little bit of scoring touch here. But I mean, in this season, you need to have. I mean, I'd have to think about putting names on them or thinking about the teams in the packages. But I mean, would you ask for anything less than 1 impact player and 2 good support players?
Right. So if you're the Originators and you say we want Lace Darius Outlaw, if you're Best Coast Ballers, do you accept a trade offer of Kadarius Loftus, Kamari Ward, and Victoria Ilgauskas?
Oh boy, that's an interesting combination. I mean, it would be tempting for that team. It would have to be. Still have Evangelos Mullins to pair those guys with inside. You still have some of those good defensive players out there like Guy Buckner Williams. So. Man, I would say that's a very good job of putting together a trade hypothetical, Marsh, because that is one where, it's hard to, even in a hypothetical game, pull the trigger on a DJ Wagner trade. But that haul there, it makes you think about it. It's not an outright no. It's not a quick, can process that quickly. No, I'm going DJ. Yeah. Oh, and that is going to be a flagrant foul, too. Wagner holds his hand up.
A flagrant foul 1, but 2 zeros, like 2-0-0.
Shot goes as well. So this is going to pour more misery, at least in terms of the scoreboard, in the proceedings tonight. But some obvious frustration from the Originators.
Yes.
And we've seen it on the face of Coast Dodge, and then we just saw it in the actions of their normally very level-headed leader, DJ Wagner.
Yeah, I think this is shocking that it's Wagner especially. He has been as level-headed of a player as the Originators have had, the league has had all season. And for him to have the frustrations there, I think flagrant ones at the NBA level get called out quite a bit as the block there from Wagner. It is rare to see one at the high school level and a turnover then by Wagner. This says a lot about the state of this team, and a foul now that they are getting beaten and their leader is extremely frustrated right now.
Snyder unhappy with that call and takes a seat. Kevin Sullivan back in the game as Ilgauskas also gets another rest for the Originators, and what Coach Dodge does and how she wants to play this, but we may see some interesting combinations. Why not at this point?
Well,
DMV.
The shocking part is that they have 2 bigs, Kevin Sullivan and Victoria Ilgauskas, who are very similar, right? Sullivan is 6'7", 246. Ilgauskas, 7', 271. They have gotten beaten by more athletic bigs the last 2 nights, and what we haven't seen is a Tyrone Snyder anchored unit here, like a Kevin Sullivan swap out for Tyrone Snyder. Snyder's really good. Snyder had a good season last year, as he does indeed check in, though it's next to Ilgauskas. Dude, I'm surprised we haven't seen them try to go with a more athletic counter. Wagner, Loftus, Quinney, Ward, and Snyder lineup that's a little bit smaller, but certainly much more athletic of a 5-man unit.
Well, what I also think we've seen tonight is just a quickness issue, where, not necessarily like their 40-yard dash times would be a ton slower or something, but it just feels like, oh geez, just a step slower. Although there's a nice positioning and a bucket from Ilgauskas there. But all night long, have just come out second in that regard.
I mean, their defense has been pretty bad. Their offense has been equally atrocious right now. Again, this supporting staff behind Wagner has just not been there.
Step back from Bracken. Can't get it to go. Ilgauskas rebounds.
Car's all yours.
Thanks. Cars.com's expert reviews made it easy, but...
Shouldn't there be more back and forth?
You missed the drama, right?
Yeah.
Maybe this will do the trick.
It's a puppy!
Not a puppy, a wolf.
What now?
He's a wolf. And that is its incredibly protective mother.
Put the wolf down.
You guys good?
Yeah, we're good.
Yep.
Okay.
A 24-point advantage for Run DMV. Fourth quarter underway. Ryan Bracken brings it forward. And heard that there was a little bit of some spicy action going on in the OG huddle during that break, Marsh.
Yeah, well, the OGs are minus now 14 on points in the paint, and so during that break, you could hear from across the gym a very vocal DJ Wagner pleading with his teammates to move their feet, to be more engaged on defense. That first possession did not look like those words resonated. It has been an awful defensive performance right now, and a shot clock violation to start things off. It has been a atrocious game, and even with the pleading of their star, second unit does not appear to be, and you saw the frustration there from Kadarius Loftus. DJ Wagner trying to have some support there, but Loftus just shucks away the fist bump opportunity or request, it has been bad.
Kamari and Bracken and Robin to Nick Hugo's Batman tonight and gets another bucket there. Nick Hugo leading DMV right now in scoring, rebounding, assists, and blocks tonight. 21 points, 9 rebounds. There's a nice bucket from Kamari Ward, however. Darius Loftus yet to score in this game.
A continuation of what was an awful first game, first game of the week here. But this remains, I'm surprised by the lack of adjustments that Originators have made in terms of personnel. There's certainly been schematic changes, but we haven't seen a ton of Maverick Jackson-Jones as he gets to. We haven't seen a ton of Jace Daniel, who in his 4 minutes in the first 3 quarters, I know not a large sample size, but he's drawn even. We have seen a lot of just poor defense up front, and Kamari and Bracken is 3 straight 3 runs to the paint. This is what Victor Sogauskas, Kevin Sullivan, Tyrone Snyder are supposed to stop. They haven't been able to stop a thing.
Well, I'm not sure how they're necessarily going to suddenly, and there is good defense from John Hudgens. Been kind of actually a quiet night for Hudgens, starting 6'10" forward, but is it there? And on this end, Kamari and Bracken.
That's Tyrell McDaniel.
Excuse me, that's Tyrell McDaniel there. Gets a bucket to make the lead 30, 75-48, 5.5 minutes to go in this game.
Yeah, this is not pretty. Kevin Sullivan has looked outmatched athletically. Frankly, Run DMV has looked more athletic than every single one of them as the triple falls there.
Hudgens nailing that one.
Yeah, this is not pretty. Hudgens, I'm a big fan of Hudgens' game.
Yeah.
I think we talked about it the last time Run DMV. Oh my goodness! But good defense there from Hudgens.
Yeah, that's right. And a dunk coming on the other end. Oh yeah.
Well, I think the great part of Hudgens' game, he's 6'10", 200. He's got the form to be a good three-point shooter, 34%. So he's not lighting the world on fire. But if he buttons that up, he's an athletic 6'10". He's got very Michael Porter Jr. vibes to him. He's not going to be the best player on the floor, but he could certainly be the third. And when he's engaged, he's really tough to stop, and he just raises the floor of this Run DMV team, who he just continues to figure things out.
Played good defense that last possession there. Bracken going to try from outside, can't get it to go this time, but Hudgens, 6'10", out of Pottstown, Pennsylvania. Getting some nice highlight moments here in the fourth quarter of a game that's pretty darn well decided and has been for some time. Just a matter of how bad this margin of victory is going to be, and it keeps on getting worse for OGs. That missed shot will not bring it down any further. It is still 35 points. Kind of a left-handed running chuck there. Yeah, that didn't go. Oh, nice dish. Nelson with the finish. Momentary bright spot there for OGs. I'll be interested to see if DJ Wagner gets back in this game. He may take the rest of it in from the sideline. The Originators can't wait to get on the bus, head back out to Boston. Some nice defense, however, there from Sullivan. Maverick Jackson-Jones now. And another turnover.
There was nothing basketball about that play. It was just Malik Duffin taking the ball from Jace Daniel.
Unable to make them pay for it on this possession. Eric Nelson looking like the #1 offensive option for this unit right now, but Duffin just shuts that down. Second attempt won't go, and rebounded by Hudgens.
Duffin man out to play today.
Yep.
Duffin man's been baking. He's cooking.
Duffin tops her best, and a swat like that. Well, DMV has actually gone cold here last couple minutes, which is keeping things a little bit tighter, and a strongman move by Kevin Sullivan. Under 2 minutes to go, but still a 31-point advantage. Just a comprehensive beating tonight for one of the best teams in all of SimWorld. I mean, the loss to AT Aliens was just a loss. Double digits, but a loss. This is a beating. Jackson Jones shakes free and finishes. MJJ, another one of these SimWorld veterans that Alyssa Dodge has been leaning on throughout the season. It does look like this crew is going to finish out the game. DJ Wagner had enough for one evening.
No need to play him any more than you need. I mean, this will be.
But without him tonight, it's frightening to think what this final score might have been. Caught a cold and couldn't have played or something.
Well, I mean, this is... They're going to end with 51. It's 53 now. But they were, for a brief moment, in flirting with the do we score the least points in a SimWorld game. That's owned by 3 teams, Lonestar, South America, and Lakeshore Drive at 41. But 53 points here from the Originators is not a good one.
This is definitely the heaviest loss of the season for the Originators. And before this one...
They scored 56, right, on April 20th against Lakeshore Drive. Otherwise, that's their lowest scoring output.
May well reach a new low tonight. McDaniel heading to the line with 40 seconds, 39.9 remaining. Tyrell McDaniel, 6'3", 190-pound wing out of Hartford, Connecticut. He's just averaging 3.5 points per game, but he and the rest of the team in black and white with the red trim out there, all about to leave this court with smiles on their faces. Well, I told you we got more games coming up after this one, and we do. Next up is going to be Lonestar and Southeast, but remember that between games we got the post-up, hosted by the Maestro, the one and only Maestro, who is actually the most interesting man in the world. Don't believe what those beer commercials will tell you otherwise. We have the real thing. He's going to be on with LOB tonight, so that'll be entertaining. And our second game should be pretty good too. Lonestar, another one of these teams that Marsh was talking about earlier, people have been asking some questions about. They've had some stumbles, unexpected losses. See if they can get back in action and get it back together. They owe Southeast Select, and of course that's the always entertaining Trey Turner you get to watch there. So definitely going to watch game 2. Don't go anywhere in between. Looking for the post-up. 29 points is the final margin of victory. Congrats to Myron Murray, waving to folks there in the crowd. Happy crowd here tonight. Their hometown team got the job done. Beat one of the best squads in the league and beat them down 82-53. For my own good self, Lava, for my broadcasting partner in crime on this game, Marsh, and for Yells and everybody else behind the scenes at SimWorld, thank you for being with us. And don't go anywhere. The post-up and Game 2 coming up next on SimWorld TV.
Like Jews from the Islamic high power beats, knocking kinda like girls knockers that I like. Wait to see, cause I'm destined to be iconic, bionic, pneumonic, my sonic go boom. I move like Jews from the Islamic high power beats, knocking kinda like girls knockers that I like. Wait to see, cause I'm destined to be. What I do now, what you say now, what's it gonna be, how's it going down, when I come around, yo what up dude? People ain't the same as they used to. Swagged up, man, what is that? Jeggings, oh, you did that? They asked me where I've been at. Nowhere where they live at. Seems to me that you like the heart. Random thought, out the cart. Wind them up, get ready. Set, go, press the start, I play my part, made my mark. Swim with sharks and fishes, your beef is malnutrition. I have no competition, our lives are way too different. I come through in your kitchen, your job don't come with pensions. I'm on another mission, listen, cop that car, fuck that price. Touch that broad, damn that's nice. Money stacked the midget height, I said it and I'm sorry. My bankers rather sharp us, my money's on retarded. This sophisticated ignorance, boy don't get me started.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, an impressive performance here tonight by Run DMV as they come out with a very shocking victory against the Originators here tonight. And we've got all of the news for you. Welcome to the Post Up. It is your man LOB in the building today here. My man, as always, my right hand man beside me, Maestro in the building. How's it going, fam?
It's you, baby. What you got good?
Look, we've had ourselves quite an interesting game here with Run DMV and the Originators. And I know we mentioned this before, but I mean, it sounds like
wait, hold up. They played the Originators? You sure?
Yes.
You're sure?
I promise you, I had to check the schedule and I had to look. Yes, this game you just watched was against the Originators. And I do want to say this, right? And I don't want to steal your thunder because you're the person who came up with it first. But it just sounds like it was another DJ, but no music playing. You know, that's what it felt like tonight. You know, another DJ with no music. That's all it was.
Man, brother, I feel like I walked in the opposite world. I mean, I've seen, everyone here has seen the Originators, right? All season, even in their losses, even some of the weird losses they've had against teams that aren't even close to having a winning record, like ever. It was still the Originators in some kind of way, right? But tonight, to see it build up, to see that frustration build up, DJ Wagner kind of letting go on the team a little bit, telling people to move their feet. Who knows what else is being said? What else is being said right now? I can only imagine Coach Dodge and somebody making the mistake of walking in front of her right now. They're probably going to be 7.5 feet shorter and smoking until the next century because she is done, right?
Yeah, definitely. She's got to be. And you can't really see it, but she's got to be up to here, and we all know what up to here means whenever you have a performance like that. I mean, they Run DMV just seemed like they could do everything that they wanted to as far as scoring in the paint, getting to the basket, getting out in transition. It just seemed like everything was going right on DMV and everything was just going wrong for the Originators.
Let me ask you a question off the top of your head. How much of the game do you think the Originators spent at the free throw line? Answering 5, 4. Nothing.
Not enough. Definitely not enough.
4 times. Four times with that team, with that mobility, with that athleticism, with that, I'm gonna run. You know what? I'm gonna go outside a minute and burn a couch, and I'll be right back because. It makes no sense. I'm telling you, somebody has attacked the Originators. They've replaced them with alien zombies and
the clones, the AIs, all of them.
Yeah, we're gonna find. And oh, by the way, AI is gonna kill us all. But we're gonna find the Originators locked up in the back of like a tanker somewhere on their way to the Philippines because this is not that team. I don't care what you cannot. You look. This is not that team. I'm sorry. I'm starting to get like Rick Blaze. I'm sorry. I'm raising my voice. I'm so sorry. Golly. Come on, fam.
We can't. And you could just, and throughout the entirety of the game, you could just see DJ Wagner and just the look of frustration, the look of anger, the look of disappointment whenever you're the star player of your team and you're looking down and the rest of the squad is just not performing, it just hurts, and Alyssa Dodge, she probably did the right thing in just leaving him on the bench for the rest of the game because there's no point in him going out there and still continuing to scrap up whatever type of game that was. There was no point in him being out there. So props to Coach Dodge for doing what she did and sending him on the bench. But the way that team played, it's astounding. It's honestly astounding. I couldn't even believe it.
Yeah, you know what? LOB, I know you got your flow, fam, and I'm sorry. I feel like I got a vaccine for something I shouldn't have got a vaccine for right now. DJ Wagner reacting the way he did tonight is so out of character. This guy has been leading this team all year. He's been a leader on the floor. He's almost been like mind melded with coach, right? He's led it with class on and off the floor, very level headed, very even. And to see that frustration build up like that on him tonight, I mean, that's pretty much, you know what? That's pretty much like, Marsh, the media man, like all of a sudden giving everybody compliments and like, giving them free candy at his office because he don't like nobody, right? It was opera world tonight, man. So I can only imagine what's going through his head right now, man. And hopefully originators, this is not the way you want to play going into the race to one. I hate to say it. Well, I don't hate to say it. This is not the way you want to play going in the race to one.
Definitely not at all. Well, I mean, although that game just happened, there was also a couple of other games that just happened around the sim world. As we do get to know here, Queen City scores a victory over the AT Aliens tonight, 71-63. That game saw Anthony Council drop 15 and 3. Sky Durant having a great game, 19 and 2. Norvell, Dejon Jones, not the best of games, but still contributed. But Madison Miles, 20 points and 28
Thank
minutes.
you.
Deontay Odom,
Thank you.
6 and 10.
Wait, you went too fast, bro. He was a dirty. Him and Deontay Odom. Dirty action. Oh, boy, I put extra for that in my neighborhood. Dirty double action. That's how they got it done tonight.
Well, AT Aliens.
I'm sorry, I'm raising my voice.
Look, no, I'm with you on it. He did his thing tonight. He did his thing, and I didn't want to say it because I wanted you to mention it, but he did his thing tonight. AT Aliens unfortunately couldn't get the job done. DeMario Duval did have 21 points in that one, but we start swinging it over to the other game that happened earlier, and Latin America holds on to beat the Yacht Club 70-64 in that one. Dominic Bianco,
are you
4 points?
Are you serious? Are you serious? Right? Okay. First of all, I want to get this out the way. I hate that phrase, right? Oh, no. You might not know it yet. That phrase, "Are you serious?" Like that's one of the phrases in life that makes absolutely no sense to me. It's like, no, I'm not serious. I'm Piccolo Jones, whatever. But Latin America, with their record, with what the Yacht Club has on the line right now, with their positioning, to let Latin America come in and do that. And oh, by the way, you just said it, sturdy lead, right? Sturdy win.
Right.
Come on, man. Right? What is LOB? I need you to tell me in my face what is going on with these teams. They can't be resting going into the race to one. It doesn't work like that. Momentum is not a switch on the wall.
It's very interesting that you mentioned that, right, as we talk about the Yacht Club, because this was going to be my second point that I got to, right? And unfortunately, even though the Yacht Club did not get the win today, this is the point that I wanted to get about, because earlier throughout the week, I feel like the Yacht Club they've kind of been on the brink when it comes to these sort of games. So me, being the investigative person that I am, actually got a chance to sit down and talk to one of their guys. We had it filmed. It was a great time. I got to interview Mr. Tamir himself, and he was just talking about, where he thought the team was and where things were going. So Maestro, whenever I have you hear this, I wanted you to let me know like what you think as far as this Yacht Club team, because like you said, they're one of those teams that's on the fence and they shouldn't be playing like this, but they sound pretty confident after the way that Tamir was speaking. So I'm gonna let you hear this and I'm gonna let you know what you think about this. Okay.
All right.
The last few stretches of our game, I really like how we've been playing as a team. Our last game, our shooting wasn't really there, but I like how we're attacking the boards. We're passing the ball, we're scoring. Dominic being dominant, Adam Max just doing what he always do. Garrett Hart knocking down the three ball, and Jay just being a great leader for this team.
Now it's interesting, right? It's interesting that I know, right? This is a yacht club team that's sort of on the fence, like I said, about what's going on, but still seem confident in what it is that they've got planned or what they got going on, especially with what Tamir just said. So let me know, what do you think about this yacht club team?
First of all, kudos to you. And I want to say this in front of everybody who's listening right now. LOB, that was a great job, a great pull, and a great piece of identity for the yacht club. Because for those of us looking on the outside who've watched them all year, that is exactly what we've seen. We've seen a team that is really solid. And for, to me, they're better than a team that's only 2 games above. I think they're 2 games above 500, right? I think so. They won tonight. So I apologize. They lost tonight, so they'd be 15-13. Somebody check my numbers on that. But anyway, but the idea is, I've always saw them, and don't let the management here tell you otherwise, because I like everybody. But I've always saw the yacht club as a team better than their record. I've written it, I've said it, I've written it again, and I've said it again. So to know that they have that sort of even feel, non-EKG mentality, hearing that in the voice right there, told me everything I need to know, that they are a team they're ready to play, but there's a piece that's missing. I don't know if it's scheme, I don't know if it's balance, I don't know if it is just maybe a restructuring of the lineup, but there's a piece that's missing. And when they find that piece, believe me when I tell you, they are going to be formidable as any other team in SimWorld Hoops.
I'll say this: I was looking at it, and I just felt like with the interview and the conversation that I had with him, especially Tamir in specific, because I feel like these past couple of games we have seen him come alive. Right, he's been the guy who started off on the team as the bench, started to get more time, more minutes, more development, and in these past couple of games we've really seen him come alive. So for a guy who started off not with notable time to really like being a presence and focal point on this team, and he was telling me not only that, but just the fact that he's building confidence with everybody he's playing with on his teammates. Him talks about him and Adam Max all the time. That's a good sight to see. You know, they are, like you said, they are 15-13. I did check the stats. They are 15-13. But that's a confident 15-13 team now. They should take that and transition it into wins now, right? Take that confidence, take that trust that you have in your team, and go translate and go get some wins out there. Go win the tough ones.
Oh, by the way, something else. I really know you want to move on, but one other thing about that interview, again, I'm going to just give you the kudos. Great job. He mentioned his teammates first and foremost. What does that tell you about that locker room? They look to each other. They support each other. That is something you cannot underestimate with a team floating the way they're floating right now. I'm sorry. It's going to be hard pressed to find any mess kind of breaking that team up.
Right. Exactly. Well, we do have another game coming up after this one. We don't want to harp on the yacht club for too long, but Lonestar basketball and Southeast Select, right? And we look at these two teams, probably two of the better 3-point shooting teams in the league. So let's get to it. It's time to post up, as y'all already know. Maestro, go ahead and give me your 3 in the key for this one.
All right. First of all, I'm gonna say this to the point where finally, I think management is. I think I got an email from management telling me if I say this again, they're gonna kick me out the league. So I'm gonna go down. I'm gonna go down fighting, like the song say. Lonestar, if they play their game, right? If they give us their game, which is what? Strong on the board, strong in transition. Hello. Strong on the board, strong in transitions. They're going to be a hard team to get over on. So that's number one. Now, can I get ugly for 1 second? Nene Gibson. Nene Gibson. He's got to be Nene Gibson. Full stop. Period. He's got to be his game tonight because if he doesn't, Lone Star is not going to have a chance. He is, to me. He proves every night that he is that gap filler that they need to get stuff done. And oh, by the way, just to take it on the other side of that, if they can stop Nene Gibson and make Lone Star a 2-man team, not so good. Not so good for Lone Star. All right. Okay, and get you up real quick. What do I think the Heartland Zombies need to do? First of all, they don't need to bite anybody, so I guess that's 2.5. I don't know if you know about that. I'm not going to talk about it. There's a restraining order about that.
Right.
But they need to find their scoring game consistently throughout the night. And normally I always start with rebounds, but for them they need to find their scoring game because they prove on a regular basis that they're really not going to fight for the boards consistently as a team as much as I thought they would. So they really need to find their scoring game and find a way to slow down. Renzo has to have his game tonight. And oh, by the way, Brian Webb, he needs to be the Brian Webb he need to be. Yeah. I switched team on you.
We got Southeast tonight.
I looked ahead. My ball, technical foul on Maestro. 15 yards the other way. Move on forward, brother.
But Trey, look, all I'm gonna say is this for Southeast Elect: Trey Turner, Gabe Pope, probably one of the best backcourt duos we talk about all the time. Look for them to get it going tonight, especially from Trey Burner. That's why he has the nickname Trey Burner for a reason.
Yep.
But I'm gonna save this. Our last point here. I'm gonna make this one real quick. Right, all time. Oh, we got all time Knicks players, right? All time Knicks players.
Yep.
Who do you feel like is one of the most underrated Knicks players to ever play in a Knicks jersey?
Knicks underrated.
Underrated.
Oh, Phil Jackson.
Interesting. I'm gonna go Raymond Felton. And not a lot of people know about Raymond Felton. I'm gonna go Raymond. He was a dog in the Knicks jersey. He was a dog.
Good call.
Well, look,
I like
Southeast
it.
Select and Lone Star Basketball Club coming up after this. Make sure you stay tuned. Some great basketball here on the Sim World. For me, LOB, and my man, the Maestro. We'll see you on the next post up, man. Let's get into some basketball action. I'm excited for this one.
Be the game.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Championship Stadium here in Highland Park, Texas, where tonight we have Game 2 of our SimWorld TV triple header between the Lonestar Basketball Club and Southeast Select. I'm V-Ron, and alongside me for the first time is Sam, and who's been on Game before? It's Sam. First time working with you. How are you, my friend? Good to see you.
Doing great, B-Ron. Happy to be here at Championship Stadium, one of the old classics of the United States, one of those underground places, underground gyms, and I'm excited to see how this goes.
If underground means $1 million, I'm sure, investment from Doug Dobbins, then absolutely it's underground. But there is one of the key players for Lone Star, Jace McGez, getting such going early in this one. And Lone Star and Southeast, they both have not been playing well as of late. Lone Star struggling here lately. Losers, they're 1-4 in the last 5. Lose their last 2 in a row. And then Southeast like they're 3-2 in their last 5. Sam, any thoughts on what this means for both these teams coming into this game? How their struggles could impact tonight's game?
Well, really, B-Ron, what I see is both of these teams are in the bottom quarter of the league when it comes to defending the opponent's three-point shot. So even though these guys are great at putting the ball in the bucket on the offensive end, defensively, these guys don't do great on the perimeter. So really, that's going to be the key for both teams, shutting down the perimeter guys. And then at that point, you leave it up to the big men. And we got a battle of the bigs here today, B-Ron.
Absolutely. We got to talk about Derek Long for Lone Star. Obviously, the key big man over there for them. And then for Southeast, of course, it is Kadarius Stack. So, like you said, matchup of bigs, but I think the perimeter game is also, like you said, going to be a focal point as well. Both of these teams have great perimeter players. Trey Truss, obviously, leader in some of our hoops and three-pointers made this season. The Lone Star has Tyrell Marr, who can shoot threes, and you've also got to worry about Nina Gibson and Jace McGez, obviously, as well. So, a lot of talent on the court for both teams, but, this could be a scenario where all these teams are just trying to find their footing as they get toward the race to 1. But with things closing in on that, how does that affect both these teams, you think, coming into this one, Sam?
Well, I can tell you, they both got to be thinking about it a little bit. I mean, you really don't want to be struggling when it's almost playoff time. That's the worst time. A lot of times the playoffs are about who's hot at the time. So both these teams are absolutely in need of a spark.
Yeah, absolutely. Both teams are definitely in need of a spark. And looking at the rosters here, Sam, I know we talked about it a minute ago, but any key matchups you're looking forward to seeing in this one?
Oh, man, we got it at the 2 guard. We got Jace McGez and Trey Turner, 2 of the best scorers we have here in SimWorld Hoops. That's going to be great. I just watched Trey Turner the other day at the Shandy Share Sports Complex up there in Canada. Dropped 7 threes in a game, dropped 35 points. He's an offensive firework, and we call him Trey Burner Turner for a reason.
Yeah, both these teams, though, are putting up a ton of bricks to begin this one, Sam. Neither team shooting very well at all. Building the house here. Building a new add-on to Championship Stadium, all these bricks through the lane.
But maybe they're defending that 3, like I said, B-Ron.
Yeah, absolutely. There goes Big Derek Long, though, getting himself going and scoring on the inside. We know that Long isn't one who's going to get you a ton of points. He's more known for his defensive acumen. But when he does make an impact on the boards, as there goes Trey Turner right there, he doesn't make an impact in the scoring department. I think that opens up a whole new layer for this Lone Star club offensively.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the points you don't allow on defense, that's only a plus on offense. So sometimes it's not about how many points you score, it's about how many points you save. And Derek Long, 3.5 blocks a game, 10.3 rebounds a game. That's number 2 in SimWorld Hoops. Great interior presence. Gets a foul call there. Well, that was on Nene Gibson, I'm sorry. But yeah, Derek Long, major influence on the glass and in the paint for Lone Star.
Yeah, and speaking of a major influence, Lone Star has a new coach. Recently, they hired him. Duncan Woods has taken over for them. And it seems like that, unfortunately, he hasn't gotten off to the start he would have liked to. And you think that that's a little bit of him trying to figure out his team. And he took over at a I guess a good time, so to speak, because they're in the running for the race to one, so they're gonna make the playoffs unless something drastic happens at this point. But they're gonna make it. So do you think it's just a matter of them, trying to figure it out, or?
Here's the issue, B-Ron. I don't think it's a great time. Duncan Woods gets the hard job of coming in here, a team who already had an identity. They were playing really well. They bring in a new head coach, and obviously there's going to be some chemistry thrown off there a little bit. You got to pick up whole new things. Everyone's getting used to each other, playing with each other. The coaches learn how to communicate with the players. It's all new stuff. Everyone's trying to pick up, and it's almost the end of the season.
When you put it that way, that makes a lot of sense. I wasn't thinking of it from that perspective. So thank you for giving me that one. I was more so thinking of it from an overall team perspective. It's not like they were out of the playoffs and that kind of thing.
Of course, yeah.
That's
it's great for Coach Woods. Great for Coach Woods. But,
right.
But the team overall, sometimes I can't go too well.
There is a 3-second violation there, and taking a look at some numbers here in Lone Star, they are 2.5 games out of possibly not being in the race to one. So I mean, they need to figure it out here quickly, I think.
Yeah, I think the main thing is they really got to get their star scorers involved, and they got to get them running off screens. Got to do things off the ball to create shots for these guys. Nene Gibson, Jace Miguez, you got to get these guys open looks so they can put the ball in the bucket, which is what they do best.
Yeah, that's the key for them. You have to find those guys open looks, get them going off screens, utilize a lot of movement off the ball. And we say it all the time, saying basketball is a game of movement. That is where a lot of your success comes from. So if they can find success there and getting their star players in Nene and Jace going early and often, that's going to be good. That is a fantastic pass inside to get the 2-pointer there. 9-8, Lone Star out in front here. A little bit of a quiet start at the beginning of the game for both teams as fans. This home crowd has not quite gotten into it just yet. Plenty of time for that still, though.
Great defense we see there from Trey Turner, doing it on the side of the floor that we don't always glamorize. Shuts down Jace Miguez there on a wide open wing isolation attempt.
Yeah, and that's the other thing about Trey. He doesn't get enough credit for his defense as well. I think that he is a underrated defender. We know what he can do offensively with the ball, especially from three-point land. But I think his defense, especially perimeter defense, is something to be heralded as well.
He's a baseball player. He's probably good at gathering them ground balls. He's good at scooping them up. He's doing the same out here on the court.
Yep, gotta bend the knees, get low to field those ground balls.
All the same applies.
Yep, exactly. We're gonna get a quick timeout here as Coach Bradley decides to call one. We're gonna step aside here really quick as well. 11-8 Lone Star out in front. Come on back.
I'm in love with that ass. Pop it like a candle. Don't move too fast. Spin a couple bands, yeah. You wrong for that ass.
Welcome back, everyone. 11-8, Lone Star out in front. And so far, Sam, we have seen Southeast struggle from the field. Again, both teams have struggled from the field, but Southeast below 30% shooting at the beginning of the game. Now, this might sound weird, B-Ron, but if I'm Southeast, I think this is an optimistic sign, really. You're only down 3 points in the first quarter, but you shot 29% from the field during that time. I mean, really, are things going to get much worse? You have to play much worse to get going there. So really, they can be optimistic. There's an upside, and they can be looking for that. That is very, very true. Very, very true. And especially, again, only down a couple of points to, again, what was at one point one of the most talked about teams and storylines in SimWorld Hoops, but it's now gone the other direction. Lone Star started out the season extremely well, and their fall, as I said on SimWorld today, earlier this morning, afternoon rather, I guess, should be documented because it's, in my opinion, one of those falls that doesn't happen a whole lot. Hey! Wow. Look at that. Throwing a lob and throwing it down. Reverse style, too. Like you said, B-Ron, Lone Star definitely been struggling here lately. I don't think they've been doing, like I said, as good of a job at getting Nene Gibson and Jason Miguez the open looks from the mid-range, the three-point that they typically get. I definitely agree with that. Despite their performance last night, where both of them combined put up 50 points, Miguez put up 29. Nene Gibson had 21 points himself. As a three-pointer falls there. 13 all. Back to square one here, Sam. Yep, tied up. 0-0. Love to see it. And you said a second ago. It was a good thing maybe that they were not shooting very well and only down at that point in time 3 points. Oh my goodness, that was disgusting.
Was that Terrell Pearson?
I believe so.
Oh my. What a play there. Crossover at the free throw line. Rise up in the lane and throw it down.
That was so pretty. So pretty from Terrell Pearson. He's been the unsung hero, sixth man, whatever you want to call it, for Southeast this season. Been so fun to watch in that role as well.
Absolutely. Terrell Pearson, we know all about his athleticism, and he showed us right there that there's a reason he's known for. And here we go again.
There he goes again, attacking the rack with authority. Man, oh man, Terrell Pearson. Good showing here so far in his first couple of buckets here on the floor for Southeast. Look, that's how you come in and make an impact off the bench, Sam. As Lone Star responds with a fadeaway bucket of their own. Battling back here. Both teams already begin. Go ahead, Sam. My apologies.
All good. These are the type of teammates you love. Guys like Terrell Pearson. We're going to see drive to the basket again. He's not even letting me get anything out tonight, B-Ron. Terrell Pearson, guys like that, energy guys who are going to hustle, make the plays, get gritty. Those are the best teammates you can have in basketball, and I'm sure the teammates here at Southeast love them.
Absolutely. Those are the kind of kids you love to have on your team. As he's a great defense there, but it doesn't matter. As the second chance attempt goes in. Final 15 seconds here of the first quarter ticking away, and Pearson has the ball in his hand, and we'll see if he can get by Miguez. It can happen here. There's a screen. Pearson tries to use it. Shot is up, and it's good! My goodness, Terrell Pearson. A perfect start for him to end the first quarter of play. Southeast Select has the lead, 22-16. Come on back to Championship Stadium for the second quarter here on SimWorld TV. Welcome back, everyone. Second quarter action getting ready to begin here, and we saw an interesting first quarter, Sam. Both teams began not shooting very well at all, but Southeast were able to hang in, and with the play of Terrell Pearson off the bench, able to get the lead, including a last-second shot to end the quarter that put up 22-19 heading into the quarter here.
I was telling you, B-Ron, you know, not all reason to look down when you're down sometimes. Sometimes you just got to think about things in context, take a step back, get a different perspective, and you just got to keep hooping, man.
Yeah, and it's especially now at this point in the season when your teams are really comfortable with each other on the court. You know, that's one of those things where you know each other very well, and it gets to the point where you're just so comfortable that things just click. And there's clicking right there, that bucket from deep falls, 25-19.
Speaking of clicking, was that Terrell Pearson on the steal there? I think it was.
I believe that was. He's been active everywhere.
Yeah, so Terrell Pearson with the steal there, down to the assist in the corner. Coco Bryce for the three, one of the better role players here for Southeast Select.
Most definitely, and there is another layup inside for Southeast. 27-21. Yep, Coco Bryce once again sending this lead here for Southeast. We've seen them come out and be a little more aggressive in trying to get to the rim to begin the quarter here, Sam. That's going to bode well for them throughout the rest of this game because, again, they have that perimeter shooting of Trey Turner. So if they can continue to go and have success inside, I think that's going to open that up more going forward. What do you think?
Well, it seems a little bit like Southeast's athleticism, speed is a little too much for Lonestar right now. Good layup there by LaShawn Berry. But, I mean, we've seen Terrell Pearson do it time and time again. Comes down the floor. We see it right here. Blowing by the defender on the way to the hoop.
Yeah.
That was Warnick there.
Yeah. Warnick completely blew by his defender there. Made it look really easy. Timeout on the floor. 29-23 Southeast Select out in front here. Want to take a quick minute to let you all know that while you're here watching us on YouTube, be sure to give the stream a like, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and of course, everywhere else, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all those places, SimWorld 4K, and all those places. And if you want to be a part of what we're doing here, calling the game, we are looking for people who want to be commentators and join the media side of things, being a reporter as well. Go ahead and get all the information, all the news there. That is discord.gg/SimWorldNBA. All that good stuff there. And while you're there also, just join the Discord, be a part of the SimWorld community as we continue to grow this thing out to be bigger and better than what it is right now. It's only going to go up from here.
Only up.
Only up, man. We can only hope that this game continues to look up as well for both these teams as we are set to resume action here. Like some of the starters are coming back onto the field, onto the court for both of these teams, rather. As Mar Miguez on the court, Mason Green joining him as well. Mason Green, a reliable shooter for Southeast Select. 72% from the field this season. Maybe leads the league. As there is a three-pointer from Lonestar. Tyrell Mar gets that three-pointer to fall 29-26. Cutting into the lead a little bit. As Pope is inside to Turner. Turner layup, no good.
We still see Southeast trying to get to the rim here, but Lonestar doing a little bit better defending it here in the second quarter. We'll see if that continues.
Yeah, good job there from Miguez on the defense there on Trey. Step back three, no good. Southeast back up the other way with it here. Pope on Miguez on Pope, but uses the screen, gets by to the rim. Can't get the layup to go with it. Crowds around, but can't find a home. Ankle breaker. Gotta finish it, though. The recovery, I don't know if it matters at this point because of the recovery, but we'll see if he gets the bucket anyway. Nope.
Oh my God. What a physical drive to the hoop there from Tyrell Marr. It looked like Trey Turner might have been a little frustrated that he got himself broken off there at the top of the key.
Yeah.
Tyrell Marr couldn't do anything with it though.
Yeah, he was able to get back into the play quick enough to where the ankle breaker didn't matter too much. Maybe it was Marr trying to do a little too much with it, as that one is a loose ball foul on Kadarius Stack.
You see Kadarius Stack getting a little handsy there in the paint, trying to get the rebound. Things might be getting a little chippy out here, B-Ron, after the ankle breaker at the top of the key, some physical drive to the hoop, some physicality down low there, ends up in the foul. We'll have to pay attention here.
Yeah, these are the things you love to see, though, if you are a basketball fan, especially in a game like this where, you know, race one implications are still very much a thing. Both teams are trying to get better spots in the race one, especially Lonestar. Great pass inside to get that reverse layup to go. 1 point game. Southeast lead has dwindled here in the last 4 minutes. Oh my goodness. A ferocious jam. I believe it was Warnick again.
Yeah, we see Warnick there come around the screen, curling at the free throw line, takes one big step from the free throw line, cocks it back, throws it down.
But the response there is a three-pointer, and that ties the game back at 31. Second tie of the game, Gabe Pope all the way to the rim. Too easy, 2 points. Lead back to Southeast. Gabe Pope is a reliable player for Southeast, a facilitator, a defender, does a little bit of everything for this Southeast select team. There's a great hook shot from Mason Green. Ooh.
That was a great, strong take inside there by Mason Green. That's what you want to see from your big man, especially here at the high school prep level. That's sometimes the Achilles heel for big men, is the fact that they're not aggressive enough and they don't use their body enough. But we see Mason Green there, great at doing that, and he makes use of it right there.
He sure did. And look, it's really easy to have a high percentage shooting when you're taking shots like that and you're making those shots count. So kudos to him for continuing to take those kinds of smart shots that are effective for him. Puckett winding down. Shot up, no good though. Coming back the other way. The Southeast with it.
Wow.
Turner
I don't know if you saw
hand.
there, B-Ron. We saw a double team there on Jace Maguez at the elbow. Looks like Southeast putting a lot of pressure on him, trying to force some bad shots.
Yeah, I think that might be a good way to go about things. Don't want to get him going, but there is a dunk of the two-hand variety. It gives Lone Star the lead again, 35-33. I believe
that's the second time we've seen Tyrell Marr beat Southeast on the back door for the easy bucket. They gotta shut that down.
Yeah, you need to get somebody talking on the backside to help out on those. Mason Green going in and getting a layup of his own. Tough contested layup for Mason Green, 37-33. Southeast Select and Coach Brett Lee want to take a timeout and talk things over. So don't forget, everyone, voting is still going on for the SimWorld Saturday Prep Showcase, a version of the All-Star Game and All-Star Weekend. So be sure to get your votes in for that. It's still going on. You want to see your favorite high school players compete in various events and or the game itself, go over to Discord and put your votes in for those respective players you want to see.
B-Ron, I'm super excited about Saturday Prep Showcase. We have so much talent here in SimWorld Hoops. We got the highest flyers in the prep level. We got the best shooters at the prep level. We got the best players at the prep level.
Absolutely.
And we're going to get to see them all showcase their talents on that Saturday night.
Absolutely. Is there anyone in particular right now that you're looking forward to seeing that you think might be a lock for one of the events, or even just someone you want to see in general?
Hey, let's stay with some relevance here. We got a sharpshooter on the floor for Southeast, and
of course.
I'm sure we're going to see him in a contest of some sort, throwing that thing up from three.
Yeah, I would imagine that you gotta want to see Trey Turner in that 3-point shootout contest for sure. He He would by far be the favorite. 100 plus made threes this season. If I find the number for you, I'll get that for you in a second. But he's electric from that range.
He has 106 coming into this game.
Thank you. I thought it was 106, but I wanted to make sure it was right.
Hey, B-Ron, I got to say, though, someone who's been giving Trey Turner a little bit of run for his money in the three-point crown recently is Autumn Mahmood of AT Aliens.
Absolutely.
Had 9 three-pointers the other day in the game. He's been shooting the lights out. He's starting to get a little more of a roll with them. And, yeah, we got some great shooting competition here in St. Louis Hoops.
Oh, man. These kids are going to the rim with force. Love to see it. That ties the game back at 37. I think that was Shake Travis on that one. We're under a minute here in the first half of play. Been a good one, Sam. Especially here in the second quarter.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my goodness. I almost fell out of my chair. Are you kidding me?
I couldn't even finish what I was trying to say. DeAndre Baldridge is too busy balling on him. Just throwing it down over the defender. What a dunk.
Yeah, get out of his way, clear the runway, all that stuff when you come through like that. But there is a finesse shot there to get the game tied back up again. 39 all, 20 seconds left here in the quarter. More than likely be the final possession here of the half.
I think they got to get Terrell Pearson coming off a screen here to the basket.
That would be one of those smart plays, but there's a pass inside, and it's good. Shot fall. I was concerned for a second. That wasn't a dunk, but I'm glad it went in. And let's see a miracle heave. Front of the rim, no good. 41-39. Southeast Select going to take that lead, a slim lead, into the locker room here. And Sam, in that first half, saw a lot of good from both these teams. Anything in particular stuck out to you?
Well, really, what I've loved is the fact that Southeast Select has been so active offensively and defensively. They're hounding the Lone Star ball handlers. Lone Star can't do anything. They can't get an open shot. They can't get comfortable. They're all out of whack. And Southeast has been so athletic offensively, they're just blowing right by Lone Star to the basket every play. So really, I think Lone Star, they gotta do something to bring over a help defender, something to slow down the drives from Southeast. But then on Southeast side, they're getting backdoored over and over again. We saw Tyrell Marr a couple times get a backdoor easy layup. Saw Jace Miguez on one. They got to shut down those backdoor flex cuts.
Yeah, we'll see what adjustments both teams make. Second half is coming up here shortly. Stay with us. We'll be right back with the second half of action. Welcome back, everyone. Third quarter, second half action getting ready to begin. Southeast will have the ball first. It has been a quiet night for Trey Turner for Southeast, but a very loud one for Terrell Pierce off the bench. 13 points for him. You think that he's the star of this team with the way he's playing tonight?
Well, here's the best thing about that, B-Ron. Trey Turner maybe not having the greatest night, only 3 points so far in the first half, but there's a lot less pressure on you when someone else is picking up the load that you're not.
Oh my goodness!
Great dunk there by Jace Maguez, but when someone else is picking up the load that you're not able to carry tonight, that takes a big load off you. You can keep shooting, keep trying to get your rhythm going, and I expect Trey Turner to eventually get going here in this game.
Yeah, right. I was gonna say, and who knows, he may find his way to get going in this one, as that was an amazing display of body control to get the layup to fall over the taller defender, and the contesting one coming in to block the shot too. Impressive all around.
Oh yeah, Gabe Pope, we know what he can do defensively. He's kind of one of those guys who just does everything for you. Whatever needs done, he's going to get it done offensively, defensively. Just a great glue guy here for Southeast.
Absolutely. And there's another bucket for Mr. Maguez. 43 all. 6:35 to go here in the third quarter of play. As we're just getting the third quarter started, there goes Pope driving in, kick out to Turner. Ball movement here from Southeast, looking crisp on that one there. And able to get a good open look, but Chuck Hart winding down. Got to find somebody here. Shot going up anyway, no good.
Man, they had great ball movement there offensively, but never could get a good enough look. I don't think Baldridge should really hold on to the ball there. You know, into the shot clock winding down. Give it up to a better guy. At least he'll, Trey Turner was right there. Maybe he has a better chance of hitting it. Things happen that way sometimes.
Yeah, in that situation, I think you try to give it to Trey or one of the other shooters, because that's not Baldridge's strength. Not from out there anyway. I don't want him shooting.
Not quite. Not quite.
He's not 106 made three-pointers good anyway. As there's a foul on Nene Gibson, as you see Coach Brett Lee there on the sideline. Second year head coach for the Southeast Select team. What do you think that does for a team having a returning head coach this late into the season versus, we spoke about earlier, a newer coach late in the season for Lonestar? How do those two matchups come into play, you think?
Well, I mean, the difference there is consistency. We've seen Southeast Select all season. I mean, they're 19-8. They're hooping right now. They have consistency at the helm, which is going to lead to consistency all around. Coach Bradley, fantastic coach, Baltimore guy, super hard-nosed guy. And I think you see it by the way Southeast plays. They're getting all over the ball. They're scrappy. They run. Just real physical team. I think Bradley is a fantastic coach for these Southeast boys.
Yeah, I think being that he's from the Maryland, Baltimore area, his coaching style and how he wants his team to run definitely has that feel of a Baltimore style of basketball, or at least you could take inspiration from even the Ravens, for example, with their defense. They're known for their defense, so looking at it that way too, you able to take a lot of the carryover from football into basketball. Shot clock winding down here. Maguez with a late three, and it falls. Oh my goodness, Jace Maguez.
What a shot there from Maguez, coming off the screen to his left, just pulls up, rises over the defense, and gets the shot to go.
Yeah, even with the shot clock winding down, I'm sure that was one of those where Coach Woods is going, no. All right, okay. You made it, but don't do that again, please.
That happens all the time with head coach. Now head coach Duncan Woods, he's going to have to learn about this, but Jason Maguez is a tough shot maker and a tough shot taker, so sometimes you got to live with things like that from a guy so talented.
Yeah, exactly. He'll get you a lot more of those than he'll miss, and there's great defense on Gabe Pope, but second chance, no good as well. Fantastic defense there from Terrell Marr, I believe, was playing that strong defense on Gabe Pope.
Oh, what a dish.
Fantastic pass inside. Now Lone Star here, a little bit of life here we're seeing from them. 48-45. It's been a good back and forth game. As the 3-pointer from Trey Turner is good. Who else would it be? Lone Star takes their timeout here, 48 all. 4:10 to go in the third quarter. We're gonna take a quick break. Come on right back here at Championship Stadium.
Welcome home.
Mom, Dad, this is Cindy.
Cindy, yes.
So nice to meet both of you.
It's nice to meet you finally. Travis has told us so much about you.
All good things, I hope.
Yes, of course.
Good.
Please,
Thank
welcome.
you.
Oh, Mom, no. Dad, this is Shannon.
Oh, hi.
Shannon.
And this is Aaron.
Hey, cutie.
That is Jessica.
Hi.
Jenny,
Hi.
Sarah,
Hi.
Megan,
Hi.
Nicole,
Hello.
Elizabeth.
Acts. Use in moderation.
Welcome back, everyone. Tie ball game here at Championship Stadium. Game 2 of our SimWorld TV triple header. Reminder, after this one, there'll be the post-up, and then our third game of the night between Showtime Basketball and the Heartland Zombie Stars. I'll be on the call with Eli for that one. And in this game, Sam, since the third quarter started, what have you seen so far out of these teams to begin the quarter?
I mean, we've just seen more competitive ball. It's still physical, it's still chippy, but just, you know, it's been back and forth right now.
Yeah, exactly. Anything in particular, as there's a foul there on Derek Long. Got a little one of the body, I guess, on that one. But anything in particular that stuck out to you from either side to begin the quarter?
Well, we saw Southeast. Really, Terrell Pearson, we see him at the free throw line now. Hasn't really done all that much up to this point in the quarter. So hopefully he can get going again offensively. They can run him off pick and rolls, and he can blow by the defenders to the rim. I mean, he has I think almost 7 assists right now, somewhere around there. So he's getting everyone else involved too. So I say stick to that plan. Put Trey Turner on the wing, drive with Terrell Pearson, and look to kick out or throw it down or throw the lob.
Yeah, you got plenty of options, right? With the player as athletic as Pearson, you have plenty of options. He goes 1 for 2 from the line there. 1 point lead for Southeast, 49-48. From the Lone Star side of things, Sam, what have you seen from them that has either impressed you or might have you concerned as the third quarter's gotten going here?
Well, really, I don't have all that many concerns. They're doing a good job of, crashing the offensive glass, getting a couple second chance points, which are big here in SimWorld Hoops. We've seen Jace Maguez. He's kind of got it going. He's got 14 points right now. Great drive there by Terrell Pearson, just what I was talking about a second ago. Really, if Jace Maguez can keep going like he is right now, I see things coming out good for Lone Star.
Great defense there, contesting the layup, what would have been 2 points for Lone Star. Instead, is no points, and no points on, well, wait a second, hang on a second. Nope, still no points for Southeast on their end. Oh, boy. Oh, we saw you might have seen a mismatch there on Derek Long, but it doesn't matter, as Lone Star attacks the rim and gets 2 points to their own and take the lead back 52-51. This has been what I think we all hoped that the first game of the night was going to be, Sam.
Oh, man, I mean, I just got done watching our last broadcast of the game, man. That was an absolute blowout. Run DMV shut out the Originators. Great block there from Jace Maguez, help side. We'll see if he can shut down Warnick here in the post.
Ooh.
And does so.
Yeah, Warnick's I'm not sure if you realize, Jace Maguez on him. Maybe, I don't know how you missed that much of a height disadvantage. But
I think Warnick's got a little guard. I think Warnick's got a little guard syndrome. He likes to. I've been seeing him trying to do a lot of guard things. I think it's best if they keep his big body in the paint and try to create for others. I mean, we see him here. Right on cue. Warnick dribbles the ball out of bounds. Trying to get too fancy. You just gotta play your role sometimes, B-Ron. Realize what you're good at and stick to it.
Yeah. So sometimes you like you said, play your role, as the wise man once said, know your role, and deal with it that way. But until then, you gotta realize, hey, this is not what I need to be doing. Help my team out. That's not how you help them out. Jace Maguez helping his team out, though.
That was Mort Thomas, actually, B-Ron. I love Mort Thomas's game. He's a little undersized, and he's getting beat off the dribble there by Terrell Pearson. He's too quick for everyone in the building tonight. But Mort Thomas really is a little undersized, but he's a great facilitator, and I really love Mort Thomas's game. Hope he gets a few more minutes here coming up on the Racer 1.
Yeah, I think those are going to be crucial minutes for Mort Thomas. I think you are going to need a facilitator here down the stretch, especially if you want to get Jason Needy more involved. Someone has to be dishing the ball around, and Mort is the perfect kid to do the job, in my opinion.
Absolutely, and man, we keep seeing Southeast. They're getting these mismatches. They got 3 6'10" bigs on the team, getting them all in the post with mismatches on guards. Lone Star's got to do something about it as Jace Maguez takes it to the rack.
Jace Maguez said, "I will show you a mismatch. Nobody guarding me and the rim." Got 19 points right now, does Maguez, as the final 10 seconds of the quarter are ticking away. Lone Star has a 58-55 lead. We'll see if that holds here. The final shot is going to be a dunk from Terrell Pearson once again, and that means it's going to be a 1-point Lone Star lead, 58-57, heading into the final quarter of play. We got a good one on our hands here, folks. Exciting finishes on tap. Come on back to see who wins this one. We got a 1-point game on our hands heading into the fourth quarter. You know what that means. It is time to put those floors up, folks. It is fourth quarter time. Lonestar in the lead by 1. Still 1. We'll see if they hold on to it. Sam, what does Southeast have to do to regain the lead and keep it for the rest of the game? And what does Lone Star have to do to keep them off their backs?
Well, Lone Star's got to stop that right there. Terrell Pearson, that's his 22nd point of the night. All almost seemingly coming off of these pick and rolls. They got to step up. They got to help on defense. Do something. He's killing these guys.
Yeah, got to figure out on that end. And I think the story for Southeast Select in the quarter is Trey Turner. It's been a quiet night for him. His only 2 made shots came on 3-pointers, but we know he usually turns it up in the fourth quarter, and we'll see him and Gabe Pope come back onto the floor for the fourth quarter here. We'll see how long they stay on the floor, for that matter, but we'll see if Trey Turner gets it going in the fourth quarter. Gibson, floater alert, no good.
Yeah, B-Ron, you mentioned Trey Turner, only a few points right now. You know, not really played bad, just not really getting the looks he wants. But we know Trey Turner likes to turn it up in the fourth quarter, so I expect him to come out firing here.
Yeah, we'll see if we get Trey Turner to show up here strong in the fourth quarter. I think they're going to need him. He's got 6 points so far, Sam, and again, his only made shots to 3-pointers, perfect from beyond the arc tonight. 2 for 4 from the field overall.
Hey, they're 3-pointers to us, B-Ron, but they're layups for Trey Turner. So.
That is absolutely true, and I feel like this lead has been no bigger than what, 5 for either side really the entire game, 2 or 3 really.
Been back
Smallest.
and forth.
3.
Back and forth the whole entire game, and we see there Southeast on the offensive end is really getting their bigs active, and we see them active defensively there as Kadarius Stack Jr. throws it back.
Sends that one into the stand. Hope the fans had the reaction time on point for that one. That one came over there hot. Head on a swivel in the front row here at Championship Stadium, folks.
I see a couple new bald heads in the stands there in the front row.
Fresh cut courtesy of Kadarius Stack there.
Yes, sir.
Great defense, though. That's what you need down the stretch here. There's some more of it as Stack does a good job getting up in the air, not fouling as well, and getting the ball back to Southeast. They can't score, but on the glass there, second chance bucket. No 3-pointer there. Not the guy you want taking the shot.
No, and we've seen ballers take 3 3-pointers here tonight, I think. I mean, at a certain point, someone's got to do something. Say something to the kid. Stop shooting threes. Get it into a better shooter's hand.
Yeah, for the record, he's made 9 3-pointers all season. So, again, not on the level of some of the hotter 3-point shooters in the league at all. He can make those, but that's not his game. That's not his game at all. Pope for 3.
You're going to make a few, B-Ron. When you're checking them up like that, you're going to make a few.
Yeah, I'm sure even Shaq had 1 or 2. That's a problem.
Oh, yeah.
Give them enough chances and they'll get one eventually, right?
Oh.
Nice tie-up in the corner for the jump ball.
We've seen Southeast do that multiple times here, trapping Lone Star when they get in these awkward positions. It's worked out pretty great for them, and it's kind of keeping Lone Star on their heels. I think we got to stick with that.
Yeah, and it's worked out there as well because they win the jump ball. We don't do possession arrows here in Simworld. We jump for these things old school style.
And there's a reason we call it Simworld Prep, baby. We're prepping them for the pros, so we got to play at the most elite level here, and get these kids ready for what's to come.
Right, exactly. Get those reps in while you can. That way, when you get to the next level, to the NBA level or whatever, hey, I've been playing on this for years now. It's fine.
Exactly.
3 from Turner, no good. Still a 1-point lead for Southeast. 4:10 to go in the quarter. In the game here. Mason Green with it on the outside. trying to find somebody to give it to. Does eventually find Gibson out there. Now Gibson, he got doubled for a second, and it was enough to slow him down. Tried to force shot and got blocked. Now Turner over to Pope. Trying to find something here. Now resetting things here. Shot clock winding down. Just 5 on the shot clock. Turner pull up 3. Good. 64-60. 4-point game for the Southeast Select team. They're out in front here. Big 3-pointer there from Trey Turner, Sam.
Oh, and big 3-pointer from Trey Turner, but don't forget what it's all stemming from. We saw Shake Travis make 2 huge defensive plays there. Gets the jump ball in the corner with Keandre Baldridge, and then there gets the steal. They come down. Trey Turner for 3 in the 4th quarter. We told you he was going to turn it on.
Yeah, we sure did. We mentioned it. And now is the time where you want to see it. And hopefully that was the first of many for Trey Turner to get cooking here in the 4th quarter, because they're going to need him down the stretch here, especially if Gibson and Miguez continue to play at the level that they have tonight.
Absolutely, and here late in the game, every point matters. So, you gotta make the team play. Sometimes you gotta make the effort play. Do whatever you gotta do. Every basket matters. Everyone's gotta be focused.
Absolutely. At this point in the game, Sam, the leads were to hold and everything, as there's a foul on the jump shot from Derek Long. I think that's gonna be a three free throws coming up. I think it's 3, not as 2, one or the other. But regardless, Gabe Pope going to the line. But who's your player of the game that I was trying to say earlier?
B-Ron, I got to give my player of the game nod to Terrell Pearson. Off the bench tonight, coming in, dropping 20+, has 4 or 5 dimes. I misspoke earlier, said 7. Was a little in and over my head, getting caught up in the moment. But, 4 dimes. He's getting everyone involved, playing great defense, active all over the floor. Terrell Pearson tonight has been that guy for Southeast Select.
Yeah, if the lead were to hold for Southeast, he would definitely be my player of the game as well. What about for Lonestar? If they were to come back and win this game, who would you give it to from them?
Oh, man, Lonestar, I think it's easy. You got to give it to Jace Miguez. He's played very well, scoring like he always does. But right now, 6-point lead from Southeast. Lonestar, you got to get Jace Miguez back in the game, get some offense.
Yeah, Gibson's still on the floor for them, but when it's a one-man show for Gibson, he can do it. We've seen him do it last year. But him and Long combined, but they have a third option there in Jace Miguez. So having him on the floor is going to be crucial to their success at this point in the game, I believe. At some point, Coach Duncanwood has to get Miguez back on the floor, as that is a 3-pointer from Mason Green that does not fall. 66-60. 2:45 go here in the 4th quarter.
We just saw a masterful defensive performance there by Southeast. We see a good one there. Oh, no, that's a blocking foul on Chris Yardley, my fault. But Southeast, we see it. They're trapping all over the floor. They're being so active defensively that Lonestar still not comfortable at all. They can't get anything to go. Kadarius Stack contesting everything at the rim. They are struggling offensively.
Yeah, haven't looked good. We are going to take a quick break. Come on back, folks. Welcome back, everyone. 6-point game here. Play getting ready to resume. 66-60. Southeast Select still holding on to a lead. And with the way things are going, with their defense, and it was really clamped down here last few minutes, we very well could see that hold. And they come in here with the win. What do you think about that, Sam? And what has to happen for Lonestar down the stretch here? As we see another great attack of the rim there from Terrell Pearson. Go ahead. My apologies.
I was just saying, Terrell Pearson, they just haven't shut him down all night. Really, for Lone Star, I think their ball movement offensively not been awful, but it's got to be quicker. You got to get the defense shift from side to side. These guys are being active. They're going to be running at you. Get them running all over the floor. Use that momentum. Shift it around the floor. Get open looks. They got to do it.
And maybe use that momentum against them. Getting them moving, using it against them as Tyrell Marr fouls Trey Turner as he tries to go to the basket for a layup. Good foul from Marr on allowing the easy 2 points. But Trey Turner going to go to the line for free throws, and he's pretty automatic from there.
Oh yeah, one of the best shooters in SimWorld hoops. I alluded to it earlier, and I mean, we see him being a little more aggressive here in the second half of the fourth quarter. So, I mean, when you got a guy like Trey Turner who can just turn it on at any point in time, be like, all right, I'm going to focus. I'm going to make plays. That's huge. The rest of the guys on the team have made plays all game. Let Trey Turner turn it on late and take care of business. Yeah,
he's taken a back seat for the majority of the game, mostly thanks to the great play of Terrell Pearson, as we spoke about earlier, all throughout the game. It's been Terrell Pearson's show. It's now a 10-point Southeast lead. We heard the Boo Birds earlier come out after Nene Gibson's missed three, and in a loud environment like this, that has to frustrate Gibson. Is a turnover. Great steal from Trey. Pass and the jam for Tyrell Pearson. Once again, now a 12-point Southeast Select lead. They force another turnover. Cookies. Turner the other way. Off the glass, no good. But to the corner, Jake Travis. No good.
Oh, another
rebound though. Third chance, not the charm for Southeast that time. Three great looks, no points, but pressure here, forcing a bad pass. Long able to grab it though. Get the offense set up again. Green over on the wing to Gibson in the corner. Shot up from Gibson, hand in his face, no good. Southeast Select back the other way. And you can hear the boos raining down even louder here, Sam, as Southeast Select has completely taken over in the last couple of possessions here. We'll lead out to 14 now with a minute left to go in this one.
What did we say was going to happen, B-Ron? Trey Turner is turning it up, and he is putting the ball in the bucket late here for Southeast. And, I mean, we saw him defensively just turn on a different level. And 2 or 3 steals there, getting the ball, getting out and running, making something happen. Trey Turner is here to ball.
He is here to ball, and that was phenomenal defensive stops from Turner and Pearson on the last few possessions. As there's another 3 ball. That one is good. Terrell Pearson hits from 3 again.
Wow,
77-63.
It was a close game just a minute ago, B-Ron, and now it's been completely blown out of the water by Southeast Select. Great performance here after coming out of the timeout. What a win it's going to be for Southeast.
Yeah, what a win for them. They came out of that timeout, Sam, and they were on a mission. They said, you know what? We're tired of this game being close. We're putting it away, and you guys are not going to stop us. Good luck, because they haven't done it. As the final few seconds here will tick away, Southeast Select will win this one 77-63, and they will go to 20-8 with the win here tonight. Lone Star is going to fall to 16-13, loses of 3 in a row now. For Sam, our SimWorld Sports crew here, I'm B-Ron. Close-up coming up, and stay tuned for Game 3. Showtime taking on Heartland Zombie Stars. We'll see you then, and until then, see the game, be the game. We'll see you in the post-up.
Good night, y'all.
You know what I'm saying, Maestro? That V every single time it come on, it just make you want to, you know what I'm saying? That you know what I'm saying?
Fire! Fire! I'm sorry. Oh, bro, I think we're on. I think we're
Oh,
on.
the
I think
lights.
we're on.
Oh, the lights on. Oh, hi.
Yeah,
Look,
yeah.
ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition of the Post Up. You already know, your man LOB in the building, my man Maestro here in the building, and we've got great basketball that just happened between Lonestar and Southeast Select, but more so for Southeast as they come on to take the victory here in Championship Stadium. Maestro, what do we see out there, man? What do we see?
Man, we saw a team that did what they needed to do, held on the way they needed to hold on. And oh, by the way, just to say it outright, the game was tight the whole time, right?
It was.
And it seemed like they waited. They saved it for the last 2 minutes and just said, okay, right here, right now, let's go. And put it on, because the score is not indicative of what that game actually was, to be straight up fair about it.
It just seemed like it was one of those games that was really close, really tightly contested. Needy Gibson, I feel like, had a great game, 15, 4 rebounds. Jace McGez had a very good night tonight. And I just feel like it was an all around, great performance by Lonestar. But like you said, it was just one of those things where Southeast Select in the end started pouring it on there late in the fourth, and that's one of the main reasons why they were able to stretch the lead out and close out this game and get the victory tonight. So,
and that's what you can see this time of year. Who can hold their water? Who can hold it? Play. I don't want to say mistake-free basketball, because I really think that gets overused. It's hard to say what's a mistake and what's not a mistake, right, in basketball, because it's such a flow, right? You can make a turnover, but if you can stop the team after they take the ball away, yes, it was, the turnover's bad, but you didn't lose nothing from it, right? So it's hard to say mistake-free basketball. So but this time of year, who can limit their mistakes? I guess is what I should say. Who can limit their mistakes while taking advantage of the mistakes that are given to them? And that's exactly what you saw happen tonight. And oh, by the way, that's a winning ticket for the race to one. I'm just saying.
already know. You already know. It's a great formula for success whenever you have a team that's able to close out games, especially ones like this. This is the things that you would like to see in the race to one, especially when competition gets higher, the stakes are a lot bigger, right? And you want to be able to confidently say, I can go out there in the fourth quarter, no matter how tired I am, no matter what the deficit is, or even if you are winning, and say, hey, we're going to go out here and we're going to finish this game the way that we started it. I mean, there were some great performers tonight. You already know Trey Turner did his thing. Kadarius Stack went out there, got 13 boards, cleaning it up on the glass. That was huge.
Yeah.
Terrell Pearson, star of the night, 29 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists. I mean, he completely put on a show. What was he able to do that made him so unstoppable in this game?
Take advantage of space. He never stopped moving, first of all. Key to anything in basketball, right? You see a lot of cats, they'll make a pass, they'll go to a spot, they'll stand. Or if the ball is being passed away from them, it's like they're watching the movie, what we should say. They're watching the movie, waiting for the opportunity to get into the play. He didn't do that tonight. He took advantage of space. He took advantage of what was given, what was even unintentionally given to him. He took advantage of all of that. And when you stay that active, you will find the ball. You will always find the ball, because the ball will find you, because what? Everything is looking for a gap, right? Everything is looking for a vacuum, especially that basketball. If you're having a bad night, it's going to find you. If you're having a good night and you're working, it's going to find you. But the whole key of it is, when you're working and it finds you, you can make it pay off. And that's exactly what he did tonight.
That was huge for them. The way that he stepped up in this game and stepped up for this team, especially with the way that he performed tonight. 13 of 17 from the field, efficient shooting. And like you said, it's credit to the fact that he was able to move around without the ball and get himself open looks and open shots, and his teammates were able to find him. So great team win here for Southeast Select. Lonestar, got to get back to the drawing board, got to figure something out But while they figuring that out, let's figure this out, right? What's going on in the sim world, as they all say? What's going on in the sim world? And I want to take note of something that don't really. I feel like we bring it up sometime, but I feel like it's going to be one of the most exciting moments of this entire season, and that's got to be the Saturday Prep Showcase. All right, what are you looking for whenever that showcase comes up? Let's talk about it for a little.
It's so funny you would say that because I was just actually going over my notes and kind of preparing for it. Believe it or not, I actually like to prepare for it because I do have some things I'm looking. Even though I know it's a prep show, and I get all that. I want to see how the athletes recognize their new environment. Every moment is different. Every game is different. Sometimes you're working with people that you're not necessarily used to playing with or not used to seeing, even though you might see them on occasion here and there. I like to see how they can incorporate their game into a team scheme and how they can stay honest to that. And I'll tell you what I mean when I say honest to that. So you and I are playing together for the very first time, right? First thing that you and I would have to figure out, since we would probably be, probably guards. I'm just going to say it that way because that's what I was. Who's going to bring the ball up? When they're going to bring the ball up? If you're bringing it up, what's my responsibility to help you get up the court? I'm bringing it up. How do I direct you to help me bring the ball? How do we work together? Because that's what's going to happen. Or is it a case where you might be the point guard, but I'll still bring it up to feed you so you can now activate the play? Those little things, those are subtle things, but that tells me about the IQ of the player, right? If I'm playing with someone different, not just I'm just going to do my thing, but how can I do my thing while we do our thing together? Because that's going to tell me of a person that I'm looking for to put on my team, right?
Right.
I want that. I want that athlete that's going to recognize how do we work, as opposed to I got my work in.
Right. And I feel like with that, we talk about these are guys that at the high school level, right, that have been playing against each other. They've been told to whenever you're going up against this guy, do this. When you're game planning against this person, and now it's like you're on my team, right? So whenever I'm looking at you, it just came to me. Playing against somebody, you're looking at somebody's weaknesses when you're trying to beat them, right? But now they're on your team, you have to now figure out what their strengths are and use that to your advantage and to theirs. And that's a hard thing to do sometimes, whenever you have to flip the switch on it like that.
You know what? That's a great point. Real quick deal. So going to college, I actually played with a guy that he and I faced up against each other from elementary prep ball, high school ball into college. So I mean, we had 6 years of going head to head, and actually had 3 fights going head to head. And all of a sudden, freshman year, walk in there, our lockers are right next to each other. And I'm going to tell you how much of a bigger guy he was than me. All right. He walked up to me and said, "Yo, I can't stand you, but I love you as my teammate." That's the first thing he said to me. And he and I sat down and hung out. We ate like lunch together. We ate breakfast together, talked about each other's game because we actually guarded each other a lot. Man, okay, you do this. I like the way you do this. You know what? I want to learn that move from you. I want to learn that move from you. And oh, by the way, man, we became deadly together because of what you just said. We went up against each other so many times, so hard, so aggressive. But he knew my strengths. He knew my weaknesses. I knew his strength. I knew his weaknesses. And then as teammates, that just made us better. And I'll tell you something, man. When he had to leave the team our junior year, I felt soul crushed, man, because here was a guy that even though I played against him more than I played with him, we had bonded like dog years. And I felt like I just lost a dude that I played with since the day I was born. So you are absolutely right when you said that. That's a great point that you brought up, LOB.
Well, with that being said, right, there's a lot of talent that goes on both sides for the prep showcase. You definitely don't want to mess out on the showcase whatsoever. Make sure you have your alarm clock set. Make sure you have your alerts tuned in. Make sure you do whatever it is that you got to do to make sure that you're there and that you're prepared, because this prep showcase is going to be like no other. And you guys, will be able to be a part of it as much as we are, as much as the players are. It's a time of year where everybody is involved in the sim world, so you definitely don't want to miss anything going on with the prep showcase. But even before that, you don't want to miss this next game that's coming up. We got Showtime basketball going up against the Heartland Zombie Stars, who have been quite notorious for making some noise, Heartland Zombie, in multiple different ways possible, whether it be on the court, off the court, or whatever the case may be. But with that
on
being
your
said,
ankles.
on your ankles, that is definitely true. So Maestro, we know what time it is. It's time to post it up. Well, let's talk about this 3 in the key. Let's get to it. What you got?
Let's get it. Okay. Rule number 1, Showtime. I'm going to say one name and one name only. Corey Yams. Corey Yams is the stickler. He gets into the dirty stat line. Dang near, almost made me curse. Dang near every game brings the funk, brings the noise. He is the kind of player that you want to have playing the center position at 6'9" in the post. You know I like it. My man knows how to use his size, his quickness. He has those great first steps. So for Showtime, Corey Yams, full stop period. Get off me. Get off me. That's what's up. I'm going to go to the other side. I'm going to say 2 names. I'm going to say 2 names for a reason. Okay?
All right.
Renzo Bryant.
You mentioned them in the last one.
Yep, that's right. I sure did. And I went outside and did 100 burpees, and I ran around the block 5 times full speed to get my punishment in for how bad I performed.
So that's why you were out of breath whenever you came back in. Okay, that makes more sense.
Doggone right, brother. And you know what we do? We got to handle it, baby. Only easy day was yesterday, fam. But Renzo Bryant needs to have his typical solid game, guiding his team in the direction they need to go, because even though there are a lot of the guys who get better stats in terms of points, rebounds, and assists, etc., he is definitely the glue for that. And I'm going to say one other name, only one other name, because as he goes in terms of the buckets, so do the Heartland Zombie Stars, and that's Brian Webb. Yep, Brian Webb. I said it. Look for him tonight to sort of be the difference. We already know what Showtime has on their side in terms of their ability to fill up the bucket, right? We already know that, so we don't have to talk about that. But for Heartland Zombies, they're going to need Brian Webb and Renzo Bryan to have one of those games that they need to have to get up to that next ladder. Their last game was a loss against Asia Pacific, and quite just very simply, easy put. They have to put that behind them. Close loss. They have to put that behind them and have to turn it on here tonight to make it happen.
Yes, and I definitely feel like whenever you get Renzo Bryant and Brian Webb going, especially with Renzo Bryant, like you said, being the glue, and Brian Webb being that scoring guy for Heartland Zombie Stars, this is a tough team to beat. I feel like they're in a lot of situations where they're in a lot of close games and they just don't end up coming out on top. So maybe tonight, this could be the night, especially with the games that have been going on earlier today, the teams that have been falling, the Originators, Yacht Club, and maybe Showtime could be one of those teams today that has a really, you know what I'm saying, one of the top teams in the league and ended up falling to somebody that they shouldn't have. It's been that type of day here in the sim world. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that game. It always is. It always is every single night. Make sure you stay tuned for the game coming up. We do want to say this, that you should go check out the YouTube channel, the channel that you are watching right now live for this broadcast, SimWorld TV. Make sure you hit the sub button and drop a like. Check us out on all of our social medias at SimWorld 4K on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, MySpace, Tinder, World Club Penguin, on whatever social medias we got. Make sure you go follow us at SimWorld 4K, and make sure you stay tuned for this next game coming up. But Maestro, haven't done this one in a minute, and I got a good one for you. I'm bringing back the LOB trivia. So
yeah,
the question is, there are 2 of these, right? There are only 2 of them in NBA history, right? But who are the only 2 players that has won NBA Sixth Man of the Year 3 times?
Oh, okay. I think I got one.
And everybody watching at home, you can leave your answers, and we will always check in with your answers. But
all right. Okay. So I'm gonna go with the lens
just throw
of
some names out there. Let's see what you got.
okay, Robert Ory.
Okay, Robert Ory, interesting.
And you know what? I almost said Magic Johnson. You know I'm tripping, right?
Magic Johnson, 6th man of the year.
I'm tripping, brother. Now, oh man. Okay, so Robert Ory for sure one. I want to say, oh man, somebody contemporary too. You know what? You know what? I'm gonna take a pass on this one.
You taking a pass? Is that what I heard?
I'm gonna take a pass. Yeah, I'm taking a pass on this one, brother. I just face planning on you, man. But I'm gonna stick with Robert Ory though.
Well, unfortunately, not only did you pass, but that just was completely incorrect. The correct answer, the two people that would happen to be Jamal Crawford and 6th man Lou Will, the man himself.
No way.
He's won it 3 times. Yes. How did you not get his? It's in the name, 6th man Lou Will. Like, no one calls him Lou Williams regularly. It's 6th man Lou Will. That's what it is.
I want to apologize. To Simworld Hoops Nation. I have failed you. I have let you down. Just know that I'm not gonna go to bed tonight till I know I'm gonna wake up tomorrow a better person for all my mistakes tonight. And that's gonna start with one thing and one thing only. Pain.
Amen.
Pain.
Amen.
Pain.
Amen. I feel you on that one, brother. Well, while he's figuring out whatever Maestro's got to figure out, as we all know, great game coming up. Showtime basketball versus the Heartland Zombie Stars. You definitely want to stay tuned for this one in Sunset Sports Studio for some Simworld basketball. Showtime at home. 17-9 on the season versus Heartland, who is 8-18 on the season, trying to turn it around here. Make sure you stay tuned for this next game coming up. You don't want to miss any Simworld basketball. It's your boy LOB and Maestro, and we are out of this thing.
See the game, be the game.
Welcome back, everybody. We bring you to our third and final game of the night. You know, our first two, let's admit it, weren't that close. Hopefully we're going to get a better one to close things out here. Showtime Basketball taking on Heartland Zombie Stars. Showtime 17-9 towards the top of that tough Legend Conference. Heartland, it's been a tougher year, 8-18. They've dropped 4 of their last 5, but chance to get better here on the road in Hollywood tonight against some of the shining stars. Find out who's in attendance, and well, we know who's going to be on the court. The James brothers, no two bigger attractions than them. Behind the mic here, you have my own good self, Lava, joined for this broadcast by B. Ron. B, good to work with you.
Always a pleasure to be here with you, E, my friend. I just got off the SimWorld Superjet coming from Lonestar over here, man. Always treats me right. And I'm glad to be here with you in the booth. We always have a good time together. Let's hope this one is just as good as our last game.
Showtime. Came on late in that one. And our first one, the Originators, suffering a heavy lopsided defeat against Run DMV. We'll see what this third game brings. In the opening attack, there's a bucket for Showtime. They draw first blood.
Yeah, Nick Moss, floater alert to begin the game.
Zombie Stars getting to work. They are definitely on the outside looking in, to say the least, of a race to 1 chase. But definitely an intriguing team with some talent. Carter Fields, Winslow Bryant, Michael Hardwick.
Oh!
Ooh. And there.
Nice names. Woo.
See little brother get on the action. That's Bryce James, the brother of a well-known and USC-bound Bronny. Battle down low, and Hardwick turns and scores over Yams. Oncho Hardwick, 6'10", 195-pounder, just 16 years old, out of Chicago. Hasn't scored much this season, only 4.6 per game, but he looked pretty good there. Pretty good there on the denial, too. And Ren Losey comes up with the rebound. 7-footer brings it up.
Yeah, great defense there from Hardwick, reacting in time to get the block. And now we'll see what Heartland can do with it.
Works it inside. Nice little turn and score. That time it was Carter Fields. He's been a bright spot in a rough season. 11.7 points, 6.6 rebounds per game for the 16-year-old out of Greensboro. And Zombie Stars, chance to build a little early lead here.
Yeah, we'll see. It's going to be a fun game, I think. And I said it in Discord earlier today, but I think that Heartland can give Showtime some trouble just because of the heart they have. This is a team that's going to give you everything they got every time they step out on the floor. So I feel like if they can hang around in the game, maybe they can steal it at the end. They got to hang around though first.
Yeah, well, Jackson McLean, one of the less celebrated names on this squad, but that was a nice move there. Finishes and draws the foul. Chance to regain the lead here for Showtime early on in this one here in Hollywood.
McLean's had some pretty productive games here lately, and in different ways. I feel like for Showtime, that's been a big boost to them here lately.
Nice jumper there, yeah, but McLean averaging about 5.5 points, 6 rebounds per contest. He's a productive player, just not necessarily flashy in an environment where it's tough to grab the spotlight with players like this, although there Bryce James's 3 won't go.
Right, exactly. It's so tough, like you said, to be in an environment with the James brothers, who are taking up a good portion of the shine, both literally and figuratively here. And, you know, their dad, LeBron's very involved with them here on the team as well. So it's a tough spot for any of these players not named Bryce or Bronny James to, I don't know if they have an impact, but shine like they might want to shine, if that makes sense.
Well, there's Bronny deserving some shine for that drive. Gets the bucket there.
Yeah, he's just too quick. Went right by his man. Fender stood no chance against him, really. Ooh, great hands.
Yeah, turnover. Try to go all the way with it as well, but Didn't get to go down there.
Yeah, unlike Bryce to force a shot like that, don't see that from him too much. Surprised to see it all the time. Ooh!
Carter Fields got left all alone inside somehow. He uses that 6'9", 250-pound frame to good effect.
Yeah,
he
really
dents in
does.
this California rim.
Oh
On
my
the other hand,
goodness.
Jackson McQueen.
Wow. Jackson with the
6'10".
jam there. My goodness.
Yeah. Big, lanky. Great potential, McQueen. 6'10", 190 pounds. Oh, there's another nice dish inside the Fields, and he gets fouled. It's going to go on Bryce James. Carter Fields, just 16 years old, out of Greensboro, North Carolina. He's number 10 overall in the SimWorld Hoop rankings in offensive rebounds at 2.3 per game. Being heavily recruited by Wichita State and Michigan.
Big fan of Carter Fields in this game. His athletic ability is off the charts, what we've seen so far this season from him, and I'm looking forward to seeing how he develops in the offseason and coming back for the second season in SimWorld Hoops. I think he's poised for a big season next season if he sticks around with Heartland. Even if he doesn't, even if he goes, back home to play with for Queen City, for example. Either way, I think he's poised for a big second season.
And they missed the free throw, the first one anyway. And rattles the second one out as well. Couldn't get anything on that position. This would be a nice statement win for Heartland on the road, who've been playing tougher of late. Oh, and look at that, Ren Losey. Big 7-footer with good hands, and it turns into 2 on the other end. In dramatic fashion.
Oh my goodness.
That's Caden Randolph. He's a SimWorld vet, 6'7", out of Naperville, Illinois. He's only averaging 3.9 a game, but I think it's such a huge advantage to have that kind of veteran leadership coming off the bench. Oh, Yams with a nice rebound, but he has his shot blocked.
Yeah, talking about Caden Randolph, he's one of those players that I was expecting to see a lot more of this season from Heartland. Because you mentioned it, one of the returning players from last season. I expect those guys have a bigger role, but unfortunately for him, it just didn't work out. But he hasn't done a lot of complaining about it, which though is good to hear. So, yeah. I lost my train of thought there.
Well, might have been the action on the court distracting you. These teams are trading buckets.
Absolutely.
And another foul, and that is a second foul on Bryce James. Now, foul trouble, usually not a huge factor in SimWorld contests just because these games are only 32 minutes long, 4 8-minute halves, but all the same, keep an eye on that if Bryce were to pick up a third, certainly, before halftime. A slight area concern. Well, Carter Fields, 0 for 2 in his first 2 free throw attempts. Gets that one to go.
Yeah, foul trouble, like you said, is usually not something that's talked about a whole lot. I think we've only had, 1 or 2 games where a player is fouled out this season. So it's not a thing that's talked about very often, but it's still important regardless. Especially in a game like this where you have a lot of star power and potential star power on Showtime. If you want to try to get those players in foul trouble, the Jameses, Corey Yams come to mind immediately. Those are the first 3 that I want to try to get in foul trouble. Get them out the game, and maybe you'll have a chance, or get them out of the game, to play less minutes. So do the foul trouble. So hey,
nice drive there.
Too easy.
Way too easy. Kirby Ordway, a mid-season addition to the team, picks up the bucket there. He's out in the game now. He's out there with Brian Webb, who was a star last year in SimWorld. Started this season, coming off the bench now. Still averages more than 13 points a game, but Showtime definitely not going anywhere. Once again, Ordway has it. See if he feels like going back on the attack.
Yeah, Kirby Ordway, like you said, a mid-season acquisition. He left Indy Stripes and then decided to go over to Heartland in the middle of the season. where you could still move rosters and such. Players were still able to move around to teams, that kind of stuff. But now rosters are locked in. But I think he made a good decision to come over to Heartland. He could get a little more shine here, as much as he would like to, but there's always next season to continue to get more of that, obviously.
And he could also be involved in less turmoil, and maybe him even leaving somewhat of a canary in a coal mine for what was to come for the Indy Stars. The drama still going on there. Drama still happening here in Southern California. Webb has the ball now. Going to take another jumper, and this time he's going to nail it.
I know Brian Webb gets a lot of flack, but he's a walking bucket when he gets going. It's so fun to watch.
Well, he brings the intensity as well, just has a winner's mentality, and right now his team is up by 4. 59.1 to go in the first quarter. We're going to take a break here, but don't go anywhere. We're going to be back in just a minute with more action between Showtime and Heartland. 4-point lead for Heartland, who have started this game sizzling. 9 of 12 shooting in the first 7 minutes. Coming out here.
Yeah, they're shooting
Showtime.
75%, E. And just real quick.
Oh,
Heartland only averages 63.6 points per game. That's 30th in the league. And then field goal percentage-wise, they're sitting at 30th, 43.1%. So they normally, like you said, normally they don't start this hot offensively, but the bright lights maybe doing it some favors tonight. Coming out and playing real well to start.
For Showtime. Good work in the paint being put in by Corey Yams. He's got 2 points, 5 rebounds.
And you always know what you're going to get. Yep, you always know what you're going to get from Corey Yams in that regard. You're going to get a lot of rebounds and a lot of blocks. He's very much a defensive style of big, not a flashy, gonna get you, 20-point kind of big.
Layup there wouldn't go down. Yam's still out there. Subs in the game otherwise. Both teams, and here comes Webb. Look at that.
Man.
That is Brian Webb doing what he does best. His finest is for a 6'3" guard. He can find a little seam. He can attack and find an odd angle to the basket underneath the tall trees down below.
But he blew right by Ethan Letterman. The Letterman was on his heels trying to keep up with Brian Webb. By the time he realized it, he was gone and laying the ball up.
Maybe a second difference between the shot clock and game clock, so the Zombie Stars are going to hold it here. Oh, maybe they're not, because Ordway has his pocket picked.
Good defense.
Jumper on the way, way short, can't turn it into points. All the same, nice defensive effort there from Juka G. But his team trails as we go to the first quarter break. Heartland on top, looking for a signature win in Hollywood. Come right back, second quarter action. We return to SimWorld TV.
Excuse me, miss. See, I gotta get some things up off my chest. See, I don't mean to be rude, but I gotta speak the truth. See, I ain't trying to be brand new, but you know who I'm talking to. Sure did. Why you?
Heartland coach Skinny Washington in his first year in charge. Well, he's got to be happy with what he's seeing tonight. Hopefully a harbinger of good things to come. Carter Fields leading the way for this team, which has a 6-point lead. Of course, Fields only has 5, and he's 1 for 4 from the free throw line. But it's been Heartland's night so far, getting a second chance opportunity here to start the second quarter. A 3 on the way, won't go, but a third crack at it, and that will drop.
Nice. That was almost like a set in volleyball where you just kind of grab it and put it up. Luckily for Heartland, it was able to fall. And if I'm Showtime right now, I'm not concerned yet because it's early. But honestly, this isn't what you want to see. Maybe they came a little flat starting. They gotta get the feet under them. So we'll see how it goes. There's a big 3 from Ethan Letterman.
Letterman gets him a much-needed bucket there, but Showtime only 3 and 2 in their last 5 games. Looked a little bit shaky at times, and it looked a little bit shaky tonight. Certainly favored to beat this Heartland squad. Only 8 wins on the season.
Yeah, this is one of those. It's one of those games where we say it all the time. At a certain point, you have to beat those teams that are in that lower tier than you. We saw the OGs unable to do it last night against the AT Aliens, and we'll see if Showtime can get back in this one. They're only down 3, so not too far out of it, obviously. But we'll see if they're able to beat a team in the lower tier from them.
Another offensive rebound for Zombie Stars. This time it's Huncho Hardwick. And another putback. He's had an impact on this game. 5-point lead for the Zombies.
He absolutely has had an impact for Heartland, and they are really active on the glass, and that is going to be crucial to their success tonight, I think.
Israel Vines doesn't get a lot of run with this team, but he can score. 6'5" wing out of Fontana, California, averaging 5.7 per contest.
Yeah, Vines had a pretty good stretch of games here recently. There was even talk about him, when it came down to crunch time in one of their games recently. He wasn't in the game despite him playing really well in that.
Leachy Young with a bucket for the Zombies. Leachy's another one of these midseason acquisitions. He's had some nice games as well. As that bucket won't go. Hardwick pulls off the rebound and brings it forward. Shia Winterton, 6'8" big body. The 22 out there out of Harry Roosevelt High School in Indiana. He was a starter last year for this squad. Coming off the bench this year.
Get that out of here.
Not Young. Kirby Ordway thought he had a clean lane. Go get a bucket. Not to be. Rejected into the stands. It is going to be Zombie ball as mass substitutions. Only Corey Yam staying out there for Showtime. That dead ball.
Out there on the court for Showtime.
3 on the way. Plachi can't get that one to drop, and Yams pulls away the rebound. He's well on his way to double figures for rebounding tonight.
He's been a force on the glass, a real glass eater, as you would say, and been really productive on that part of the court for them. My goodness.
Well, haven't had a lot of impact in this game, but there's the highlight so far. Ronnie James.
Yeah.
Donio, it's not just name, it's game. And another rebound for Yams, who put himself in a good position there to disrupt that shot as well.
Yeah, and that's one of the ways that makes him so good at getting rebounds. He's always in a good position when he's contesting a shot to turn around immediately and get a rebound, or be in a position to get a rebound.
Right there, he found himself a switch with Renzo Bryant on him, and Bryant couldn't contain him, but nobody can contain Renzo on the other end either. He got that bucket in over 3 yellow jerseys.
Yams got his hand in there at the last possible moment, unable to affect the shot too much.
Down the way, and Bryce nails it.
Big shot Bryce tying the game up.
The Zombie lead has vanished. Brian Webb has the ball. Letterman on him.
Oh boy.
And Webb, I don't know, that was an ill-advised pass trying to locate Hardwick inside. Meanwhile, on this end, nice little 1-2 between Vines and Yams turns into a Showtime basketball lead. A little bit more than 3 minutes to go here in the first half.
Yeah, that's definitely not the pass you want from Brian Webb there. You can't force it into the paint like that. That's why those cross-court passes like that are always so dangerous. They're very easy to pick off. And when they get picked off, you see what happens. More times than that's a bucket on the other end.
Central Hardwick putting in a heroic effort in this first half, particularly in the second quarter. That is his third putback. Offensive rebound putback. And once again, Renzo going to work, trying to take into and through Yams, who I think he'll get credited with a block there. Ball out of bounds. It's going to stay with the Zombie. Subs coming in for both squads. Hardwick taking a rest, and Carter Fields coming back in. That's a pretty nice asset to have. Your skinny Washington and Heartland being able to replace Carter Fields with Hardwick and vice versa.
Yeah.
Both of them playing well tonight.
Jones also taking over for Heartland as well.
Clay Chi Young getting in on things too there. He dives to the bucket. He gets two. Ronnie James can't get his jumper to go. Ren Losey secures the rebound. Losey almost lost the ball there too.
You gotta be careful as a big man being out there on the perimeter with the ball in your hands.
Tough shot from Fields.
All those guards will get their hands in there and swipe it from not paying attention with it.
2 minutes to go now, first half. Tight game. Ronnie once again can't get a shot off there, has it blocked.
Oh my
Renzo.
goodness, man.
Wow. Well, that went from me expecting a highlight Bronny dunk on the other end to a highlight Renzo dunk on this one quickly.
Man, Renzo Bryant.
Once again on the attack, tries to get it over the 7-footer. Losey can't, but the offensive rebound is up and in. Some nice work there from Jackson McQueen, who's had a nice first half overall.
Yeah, good first half from Jackson McQueen. Showtime as a whole, they haven't played bad per se, but it hasn't been what we've expected from them, especially with I don't want to call it a talent discrepancy, but we'll call it what it is. In terms of tiers of teams, Showtime is the better team on paper overall, but we know games aren't played on paper.
Well, they're getting killed on the offensive glass.
Yes, that's a big
Coach
problem.
Kendall Joyner cannot be happy about that when it's not Joe Hardwick, it's Carter Fields, even Ren Losey getting in on the action. In second shot attempts, up and in. That jumper wouldn't go, however, and Showtime does have a chance to tie or take the lead here. A nice dish inside to McLean from Bronny, but the shot won't go. Losey able to tip it out to a teammate. Heartland can hold for one, but instead going to try to get a shot off. It won't go down. Foul on James, and fortunately for Showtime, it's Bronny, not Bryce, picking up his third. That's just a first foul on Bronny, but it will send Carter Fields back to the line where it's been an adventure tonight. He's 1 of 4, and I'm sure he knows it as well as we do, B. So let's see how he handles.
Yeah,
a little bit of a cold streak from the stripe.
Yeah, big free throws from him, and continues to struggle at the line.
Way
and then
short.
that definitely could be a story as this game continues to stay as close as it is down the stretch. And going back to how we got here to get to the free throw line, I think that was a good call from Carter to try to get the shot, the easier shot while you can, before things get too congested. Shot clock was off. You know, you only got a couple 14 seconds left at the point in time. So find a way to get a quick shot off. He did, and unfortunately, couldn't throw it on the line. Nothing there.
1 for 6 now. Showtime almost turned it over. Looking for a final shot here, and it's in Bryce's hands. Oh, he got a look, but probably got it closer to going down than he should have. It was pretty sticky defense, but all the same, the Zombie Stars have to feel pretty good. They're carrying a 2-point lead into the locker room here at halftime. Outside of a few highlight dunks and a 3 from Bryce, not a big-time night so far from the James brothers. If anything, it's been the interior glass work of Hardwick, Fields, and Losey that have been stealing the show, B-Ron.
Yeah, most definitely. Their ability to rebound offensively, well, on both sides for Heartland, has been a phenomenal asset to them tonight. And that's one of the reasons why they're able to stay in this game and have the lead that they do. Those rebounds allow you to run in transition to get some of those easier looks that we've seen Heartland get. And that's going to be, in my opinion, one of those things to continue to improve upon in the second half.
Ancho Hardwick, 10.6 rebounds, most of those points coming on putbacks. His Zombie Stars are up by 2. Don't go anywhere. Second half in just a couple minutes. Two-point advantage for the Zombie Stars. Ancho Hardwick and Carter Fields leading the way. And here, Renzo Bryant goes on the attack, but can't get his little attempt off glass to go. That's just a 2. Yeah, it is, but it ties things up right off the bat.
That's a deep 2. Look at this lineup here that Heartland has. With Brian Webb on the floor.
Brian Webb out there.
With Ordway, Slink as well. Apollo Jones out there too.
Carter Fields as well. Apollo Jones picks up the foul. Carter Fields played great that first half, with the exception of when the clock was stopped and he had all the time in the world at the free throw line. 1 for 6 in this game, and he's not a bad free throw shooter. He's made 79% of his attempts coming into this game, which is a really good number for a big man in particular. Rice tries a deep 3, won't go. Rebound battled over, but ends up in a red uniform. And tough shot from Renzo Bryant. But he gets down. Wow.
Renzo.
It's that kind of shot where the coach goes, no, 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 yeah.
Yes, yes it is. Yes it is, E. You're thinking the same thing I was.
Renzo now D'd up. Bronny James. Shot won't go. Rebounds there from McClain, but he hasn't rejected.
Great defense there from Losi. Great reaction time to realize, oh, hey, I didn't get the rebound, but I still got to play defense here. He get over there so fast to get his hands up in time, and that's all it takes when you're a big guy like that. Oh, watch the feet, though. Watch the feet.
I think, yeah, Apollo Jones just got too excited. He saw a path. Maybe he just sort of pitched his stepped out of bounds there.
Yeah,
That's
put his
really
head down and went for it.
The unfortunate thing is that was a sure two. He just wouldn't have slid out on the line there, but he did. Ronnie has it. Showtime going to work. Rice with another three. He's not been shy to shoot tonight. He makes another. That's a big bucket there.
Huge shot there from Bryce James, getting Showtime the lead back. Crowd has not been too hot tonight, so maybe this will give them the energy they need to get up and get going a little bit here. And that's when they're going to do it too.
Another miscue, unforced error. Israel Vine set to come back in the game. Showtime, but that's an unfortunate break for Heartland that needs some things to break their way if they're going to come out of here with a victory tonight.
Absolutely, you can't have miscues like that when you're trying to stay in a game that for all intents and purposes you probably shouldn't be in. But when you're playing as well as they are, you have to find a way to stay in the game, and that's the way to do it right there. Get in their face, play pesky defense. You had to convert on the opposite end.
Renlozzi unable to get that shot to go down, but he was able to get the rebound. Plachi with the nice pass inside. And really whipping the ball around out there. Renzo's just going to take it and make it. That is two tough shots. Man right up on him, hand in the face. 16, 17-foot jumpers, and Renzo's just putting him down like it's practice.
Man, does not matter to Renzo tonight. He said the bright lights are only going to fuel me. If anything, I'm going to come in for a show for y'all.
On this end, Nick Moss started the game with a bucket, gets another there.
I like Nick Moss's game a lot. I think that him, Letterman, Yams, and Chisholm, Jukaji, a lot of those kids will be back next season with Bryce still there as well. They could be a deadly team next season, but man, Renzo Bryant is playing extremely well these last few possessions, in all game really.
All these players you're talking about, I think, I have to go back through the list. Bryce or Brownie on the attack. I thought that might end a little bit more violent than what it did instead of the pretty little teardrop, but there you have it. But all those players you're talking about, you're 16 years old, including Renzo Bryant, captain of the squad, having a night, having a night tonight. Yes, he is the team captain. I want to look at my notes to confirm that.
Yes.
Renzo's only averaging 35% from the field this year, but you can see the important role this young athlete has on this team, and right now his team trails by one. We got a break in the action. We're going to take a quick commercial break. Don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back. Big crowd here in Hollywood tonight to see their team. Showtime basketball, and right now they're in an unexpectedly tight battle. the Zombie Stars midway through the third quarter. Shia Winterton out there for him, and he has the ball right now, looking to go to work down low.
Yeah, unexpected certainly a way to put it, Ian. A lot of that has to do from the play of Renzo Bryant, Carter Fields for Heartland. They are both playing extremely well. Bryant, I believe he scored again there, which could give him 12 in the game.
Game high 12. Oh. Well, and the answer inside once again. McLean having a nice night.
Yeah, him and Bronny James, but Bryce James as well. All three of them are playing extremely well tonight for their team as well. It's been a three-headed attack for both sides, really. It's always good to see.
Offensive rebounding leading to a second chance, but Renzo just blew that little left-handed layup right there. You can see him grimace after he missed that shot.
Yeah, hope he's okay. Usually when you come down and grimace like that, maybe you landed wrong on something, or maybe it was just a frustration of missing the layup. One of the two things happened there. Hopefully it's just frustration. Yeah. Hopefully it's frustration, not anything serious.
To build on his big night, as we say, he's got 12. He's got the ball right now. Can't get that one to go. After hitting some tough shots, he's missed some easier ones. 3 on the way from Showtime, but no bucket. Bryant corrals the rebound.
Yeah,
he brings things up.
Taking 3. We got a mismatch on him and Ren Losi. You gotta get Losi the ball.
Instead, shot once again will not go. Renzo Bryant has missed 3 in a row. Having a bit of an offensive explosion for his standards. Tested it. Oh, nice hands. That's the second time tonight that Red Losi, who has really soft, quick hands, disrupts a lot of passing lanes with that extended 7-foot frame he has.
Yeah. Ooh,
it turns into a bucket for H.E. Young on this end. Apollo Jones, misidentified the player. Number 14, not number 4. Apollo Jones, 6'5", 200-pounder out of Shreveport, Louisiana.
That was a pretty move there.
Excellent, McLean.
Yeah.
Well, Yams has done it with the rebounding tonight, but McLean's been involved as well, and particularly on the scoring side of things. He's been a big part of what's kept Showtime right in the thick of this battle with Heartland.
It was a great pass, set him up too. Perfect pass, call it in stride, able to go right up with it afterwards for the dunk.
3 on the way from Renzo, and he buries it.
Welcome back, Renzo.
Renzo Bryant. That's his 13th made 3 of the year. It gives Zombie Stars a 2-point lead. A little under a minute to play here in the third quarter. And while we got a timeout on the court, I want to tell you that we are seeking people to join me and B-Ron behind the mic. We are looking for people to be sports writers, to interview the stars and coaches of the SimWorld game. If you're interested in being part of what goes on with the media team, come check us out, discord.gg/SimWorldNBA. You'll get all the info you need to know there.
Yeah, join up. It's a wonderful place to be. Come join me and E on the side of the microphone here. We would love to have you calling games with us in the booth or writing about things going on here in SimWorld Hoops. A lot of action going on with the Race to 1 happening. A lot of other things going on as well. So
for sure.
Definitely a lot to talk about.
Plenty to talk about, plenty to be decided yet in this one. Subs out there. Juka G has it for Showtime right now. Oh, the point guard's pass is almost picked off, but Bryce able to recover it. Shot clock winding down now. 3 on the way, won't go. And Shia Winterton secures the rebound for Heartland. Brian Webb drives inside, tries a little left-hander, won't go, and can't get the rebound.
Gotta be careful about that if you're Brian Webb. You don't want to force things too much and put your team out of the game by pressing too much. Play within your game and do what you can help out. Take smart shots where you can. Be the veteran leader of this team. You, Winterton, and Randolph. 3 of you.
Mark Chisholm tied this game up. holding for one now. Heartland. Ordway going to take a three. Can't get it. Oh, Winter has the rebound. Back up and in.
There
well
you go.
executed by Heartland Zombie Stars. That's what I like to see. Give yourself enough time to get an offensive rebound. No, give yourself a second chance if it goes that way. And don't give the other team enough time to get it beyond half court. Well, narrow advantage for the Zombies at the end of 3. 8 minutes to go in a tight ball game. Come right back. Symbol TV. We'll wrap things up when we return.
To make it 2-possession game, and they will.
Definitely gonna have to look elsewhere. Oh!
No, B-Ron, our first game tonight, Run DMV kind of blew the Originators out right from the get-go. A game that was not close at all. Second game that you called, it was close for a while, good game for a while. In the end, the final score, not all that close. Southeast, pretty comfortable victory. Got a feeling this is just building and building across SimWorld TV these 3 games tonight. We're going to have a buzzer beater inside this one. And it might be that man, Renzo Bryant, who just passed the ball up there. Who gets it? He's got 15. Aim high. He's going to take a 3, Renzo. Can't get that one to go. Rebound, tipped around, but ends up in the hands. Bonnie and Showtime. Can score quickly, but can't get anything on the offensive end.
And looky, again, as a reminder, I said it earlier today in the Discord. I said that Heartland could give Showtime some trouble, and they are giving them trouble and then some here in this game. It's been phenomenal watching this team come in complete underdogs and really giving Showtime a run for their money and everything they got.
Coming into this quarter, Heartland with a 32-21 rebounding advantage. They have 13 offensive rebounds in this game. Scored 14 second chance points, just 2 for Showtime. That's been a huge key.
Absolutely.
To them in the game. Show Hardwick just got him a bucket, got him the lead a second ago. Been a huge key part of that. He's going to war with Yams right now. And Corey wins. Wow.
Good battle at everything too.
Down low.
Yeah. The offensive rebounds you mentioned it a minute ago. That's been one of the biggest reasons for Heartland's ability to stay in this game. When you can get 14 second chance points to Showtime's 2, that makes life so much easier for you.
Field's going to get that bucket to go. Oh, on the other end, easy chance missed by Showtime. It's up in Bronny's hands. We're looking to go to work on Renzo.
It was good defense, though, to not allow the easy layup for Chisholm there, because it was easy until he had to adjust the shot because of that arm and hand coming in.
Oh! At the footwork and quickness of Apollo Jones. Cuts through the Showtime defense. Banks it home. And he can't quite find the lanes he's wanting. He has 2 defenders to shoot over. Can't get it down. Carter Fields brings it up here. He hasn't done much since being a key to the Zombies' good start in the first quarter. He is going to get 2 more right here.
Yeah, he's been held in check for a while. That's now 7 points for him, 2 rebounds on the night for him. So, but he started off really well in the first quarter too. Since then, tapered off. But with that one there, that might get him going. My goodness, Jackson McLean, man.
Well, as statistically outgunned as Showtime has been downloaded, and I mentioned that rebounding and second chance points differential, Jackson McLean has had a very nice night. He has been a scoring threat all night long. Oh, nifty little pass from Bryant to get it into Fields' hands, and he gives it to his teammate
quickly, though.
Fields is going to have to try a 3. Can't get it to go.
The 3-second call was looming. They had to get something up quickly, so I think that's what that was all about.
Ooh, nice play there. Webb disrupted that. Ends up being a turnover. Oh, look at that drive by Bryant. Can't finish.
Man.
Gets a second foul on Bronny James, who does not like the call. Demonstrative there with the ref. You might want to watch himself. We had a flagrant 1 happen in the earlier game tonight on DJ
Gotta be
Wagner.
careful with those. Gotta be careful with those, especially in a game like this where emotions are high with how close the game is and it hasn't gone your way. If you feel like your team should be winning by more than what they actually are too, it's just recipe for disaster.
Well, the Zombie Stars can feel like they should be ahead by more too. They have been woeful from the free throw line tonight. Renzo Bryant just clanked his first attempt. There's 1 more coming. We've documented Carter Fields' struggles. Renzo gets his second, makes 1 of 2, and it's a 3-point lead for the Zombies. 4:10 to go in the game.
And this will be one of those things that is going to be crucial down the stretch for Heartland. They haven't shot the best from the free throw line tonight. And I feel like my goodness. Can't get your thoughts out, man. All these dunks going on.
Well, that's Bronny James. He's had a few of those tonight. Seems like Showtime might need a few more moments like that.
And 1!
Victory! Oh, look at that! Wow!
And
what
1!
A finish from Honcho Hardwick the third.
Man.
Chisholm picks up the foul. He's going to go out of the game as Bryce is set to re-enter, but Honcho Hardwick averaging just 4.6 points per game. What a night he's having tonight, the 16-year-old.
Yeah, Mark Chisholm in absolute disbelief that that shot went in. Don't come up the court, hand on his head like, I don't understand how it went in. I don't either, Mark. I don't either.
The interesting free throw stance there on Hardwick, but it's effective for him. He's a good free throw shooter, gets it to go, completes the 3-point play. He almost stands pigeon-toed with the line, Hardwick. It's a very unique stance. Maintains his balance, though, and as I mentioned, he's a solid free throw shooter.
He's been good tonight from the line, but he hasn't been all that great on the season. 57% from the free throw line for Honcho Hardwick.
Hopefully over 60% by the time this night's done. Renzo Bryant once again has it, dribbling it out. Shot clock down to 5. Oh, the give and go, but quite fine Fields for the flush.
We've seen it around a lot of those this season. Surprised that one didn't go.
Turned into a clean look at 3 from the corner on the other end, but look at that.
Hang on a second. Wow. Nobody picked up the ball.
Nobody picked up Carter Fields, and that, to say the least, is an oversight. A difficult one to make when you're 6'9" and 250.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know how no one picked him up on the court like that.
Block there from Hardwick. Big moment. And another chance at 3. Third foul on Bronny James. 8-point lead. Make it 9 with the free throw and only 2:26 to go.
Man, oh man.
We saw Originators get beat tonight. We saw Lonestar get beat tonight, granted, by another good team. We may be 2 minutes and 26 seconds away from seeing another third team that people have as a race for one true contender take it on the chin.
You know, real quick, E, I want to get your thoughts on this. I had thought about this earlier. You know, when a team that is one of the top teams in the league is losing to or playing down, or what someone could be playing down to their competition, do you think that is a case of wanting to maybe, you know, quote unquote, get those games out of the way, if that makes sense, heading into the rest of one?
I bet that's an element of it.
You know what I mean?
I have to think that's an element of it, and just, you know, in the same way that you always want to get up for big games, it's hard to get up for every game. You know, it's hard to maintain that 110% intensity. When the 8-18 team rolls into town like Heartland is, they're showing they're on the cusp of demonstrating in the win-loss column. Any given night can be your night, and Carter Fields just put an exclamation point on things. Timeout for showtime, but it may be too late. We're going to take a quick break as well, but come right back. Heartland Zombie Stars on the verge of a big upset victory. All right, we're back. Live action. Hollywood on its heels. Showtime down by 10. Need to score and score quickly. McLean's had a nice night. Can't get that to go. Gets his own board. Stuffs it through. Oh, that's a way to get some
Don't be
points.
nice, young man. That's how you do it. Don't be nice in there. Grab the board. Go with it strong. Perfectly executed. I love that.
Oh, Jones has it for Heartland. Drives inside on Vines. Gets a little jumper up. Can't go. Gets his own rebound. Another one for Heartland. Been key for them all night. killing Showtime with it, particularly right now. Shot clock winding down. Jones going to have to just try a jumper, won't go, and Yams rebounds.
You might have to just send more guys to the glass. Crash the boards. I think that's a viable option. Gotta consider it at this point.
Not much more time left to pull a miracle out. Vines has it, pulls it out. Shot clock under 10. He gets a jumper off, but it's swatted away. Carter Fields got that one, but Ancho Hardwick, the ball right now, 17 points, 7 rebounds, 26 out there. He was my key to victory. I'm giving him my player of the game nod, B-Ron.
Ancho Hardwick is a good call, and I would not argue with you, but I'm gonna have to pick Renzo Bryant.
Yep.
For me.
He had a big game as well. Double-digit points from the player that averages only 6.2 per game, and they are going to dribble this out. And Zombie Stars, it's a toppling trifecta today. 3 teams, Originators, Lonestar, and now Showtime. At the top of the standings, all taking a tumble. Huge win for Heartland. They're out of the race to 1, but for them, this is a victory and a night they're going to remember for a long time. When they came to Los Angeles and walked away winners over the Bronze Kids, Ronnie, Bryce, and the rest of the stars on Showtime. Well, thank you all for being with us very, very much. Hey, before we get out of here, I want to remind everybody we're going to be back on the air tomorrow, 7 o'clock Eastern, East of the East in Cascadia. Kick off a doubleheader for Thursday. But I want to say, those of you who've been watching tonight, thank you. Hope you've had fun watching, and tune in tomorrow for my own good selfie lava, for my broadcasting partner in crime in this game, B-Ron, and for Yells and everybody else behind the scenes at SimWorld TV and SimWorld itself. Thank you, and remember, this is the only place you can see the game, be the game.